All right, man. We in the building, man, like super troopers. We don't stop, dog. We back with the OG boxing talk with my man Drew Titan and KQKC Boxing. Hoping to bring a little bit of joy to your locked up asses this this Sunday morning. If you're gonna be locked up with the OGs. You know what I mean? Donald, the 65-year-old G. Happy belated birthday, Donald. Now, the 65-year-old G. Melvin Wright in the building. Gregory Wyatt, as usual, always in there. Mike James, what's going on, man? And yes, sir, y'all hit that button on the way in. Go ahead and tell them how to get in contact. Damn, what's going on? I meant to hit this shit. Uh, Go ahead and tell me how to get in contact with your KQKC.
Yes, sir. You can get in contact with me right here on YouTube. That's Monday through Saturday. Monday through Friday. That would be 12:30 p.m. Central Time. Keep that in mind.
Monday through Saturday, though. I thought you had a show on Saturday. You do?
Yes, sir. Now, Saturday, it would be 10:30 a.m. Central Time. Now, I was late yesterday, and I apologize for that. But I did come through and, had to do what I had to do. So, but Monday through Friday, and that's 12:30 p.m. I come on right after for non-international boxing. All right,
sir. Drew Titan, tell all 12 people how to get in contact with you.
Yes, sir. I am Drew Titan. You can follow me right here on YouTube at Drew Titan. You can follow me on Instagram at Drew Titan. I will be going live tonight. My show will be back tonight. LDBC Strong. I'm going to be discussing health and wellness and what we're doing to get through this motherfucking pandemic that we're going through. It's unfortunate. We're going to shoot the shit tonight, 7 p.m. every Sunday, Eastern Standard Time, New York City time. Let's get it.
Okay.
Yes, sir, man. So Drew, let us know, just so y'all go ahead and put Drew's brother in your prayer. If you want to tell him, Drew, my bad.
Yeah. Out here in New York, it's crazy. My brother is a corrections officer, and he tested positive for this fucking virus. And he's in good spirits. He's not, on his deathbed and nothing like that. He just has a little fever here and there, and he's fighting it. He's up and walking around. But the fact that what is aggravating is the fact that we have a collapse in leadership from the government all the way down to these isolated agencies like corrections, like mass transit, like the NYPD, because we weren't prepared for something on this level. In fact, you know what? We were prepared. And just to digress on that for just a quick second, I can't.
Man, go ahead and do your thing, man. We good this Sunday morning, man.
I can't talk about this without talking about where it came from. Okay, we have a agency in place called the CDC. For those that don't know, and in the CDC there was a
Center for Disease Control.
Disease Control, right? Center for Disease Control. Within that agency, they had a unit in there that dealt with pandemics. It was put there after we had the Ebola incident a few years ago, and it was put there by none other than President Obama. And the reason why we're going through this right now is because that piece of trash that we have in the White House was so hell-bent on dismantling everything that Obama did. He dismantled that and said it was just doing nothing but taking up money. So not only did this scumbag, number 45, knew about this since late November, early December, whatever, he dismantled the unit that specifically was intact to deal with things like this. All right. And if you remember, first he said this was a Democratic hoax, so he was already playing politics. And then when the first person died, then he started taking it a little serious, talking about it'll go away when the weather warms up. Meanwhile, people are dropping dead in hot ass Florida. Okay. So it's quite apparent. It's so clear that this douchebag didn't know what he was doing. And for those that do support him, how you like him now? All right. What he should have did with that unit that Obama had in the CDC, what he should have did was simply do what he does with his real estate. Just just throw your goddamn name on it. Trump never built a building in his life. He purchases the real estate and throws his name on it. That's what he does. That's what he should have did.
Stay in his lane. Yeah.
That's what he should have did with this. Just dismantle it and then put it back and put your name on it and take credit for it. Because at this point, it don't matter. We needed it. We needed it straight up and down. We needed it. And then for him to deny it and say that it was a hoax. Yeah, 4,000 deaths later on your soil. And I can go on and on and on. This guy, it was already proven that the equipment that we needed for our nurses and doctors to take care of the American people, this motherfucker put it up for bidding to other countries. This is what he did. This is what he did. And he's talking about, oh, this is our stockpile. No. When he said our stockpile, he was talking about his personal stockpile. It's not your stockpile. Whatever stockpile you have belongs to the American people. So this is the level of incompetence that you're dealing with. He has officially done the inevitable, in my opinion. We all thought that eventually this dumbass dude would get us involved in a war and someone will set off a dirty bomb somewhere. No, he did this. Those 4,000, these 400,000 or so people that are infected with this thing, to the 4,000 or so deaths that we have in this country, this is all 45's fault. This is all on his hands. And for anybody to see anything otherwise, you're delusional, and there's clearly something wrong with you. And I'm really trying hard not to curse this morning. You know, my family's still in bed, but you need to understand what has happened here and how we got here. All right. For those people in the chat, I'm sure if it's not affecting you, you know someone who knows someone who is affected. My brother's sick, man. My older brother's sick. All right. And he's fighting this thing, and I believe he'll be fine. But the fact that we have to go through this, and we're gonna have to go through a situation where we're gonna sue. Well, you know, let me not speak out loud. But let me just say this, man. We could do it. This is I never thought in my lifetime that I would live past or live through a dire situation like this. Like, everybody that grows up goes through something that's historic. And I thought as bad as it would get for me would be 9/11. Because at that time, I was an officer at that time. And I remember that day very clearly. I responded. I call me crazy, but I didn't go all the way downtown. I didn't do that. I stopped at 86th Street and transported the firemen. All right. But I thought that was as worst it was going to get in my lifetime. This right here dwarfs 9/11. Dwarfs it. And the most sad thing is that this has everything to do with this fool in the goddamn White House. It has everything to do with him. This is all him. This guy killed us. I hope you guys understand it. Those 4,000 people that are dead or so. 4,000, I don't know the exact number. It changes every day. This is his fault. And if you supported this guy, all I can say is shame on you. Again, I'm trying to keep it clean like a washing machine, but shame on you. This is your problem. You get what you pay for. Or you get what you pull that lever for. This is why voting is important. You know what? I'm not even going to get on my soapbox on that, because people do what they want to do.
Your soapbox, but it's a day to soapbox it. I understand.
You know, I mean, look, people say they don't vote. Look, fine. I'm not knocking anybody, but whether you do or you don't, you got to deal with the consequences. This is a consequence. This is a consequence. George Bush wasn't this stupid. Okay, he was an idiot, but he knew the job. And when he didn't know something, he wasn't scared to admit that he didn't know something, and he turned it over to the experts. He wouldn't get. I never forget the debate where he had a goddamn plug in his ear. Obviously, someone was giving him answers on how to debate. It was so obvious. You understand? He knew to get out of his own way. This guy Trump.
Hey, hold on, man, a second. Hey, throw fuck Dame Dollars the fuck up out of here, man. Go ahead. Yeah, somebody. I'm sure a wrench can get to that dude before I put my finger on him. Bye, man. Go ahead, Drew.
Yeah, you know, we're dealing with a sociopath and an egotistical maniac who's never had his ass whooped. And this is the result when you deal with a person that's never had a real life situation where they had to make a decision where it's life or death in the street, or just in general. It don't even have to be life or death in the street. It has to be well, if I do this, I might get my ass kicked. Or if I do this, I might get arrested. He never had to make decisions like that because money always got him out of trouble. And he's always surrounded with a set of people that would take a hit for him or roll deep enough that he didn't have to deal with situations like that. He's been pampered his whole goddamn life. I never liked this guy since the Central Park situation in my city. Okay, because in that area, my aunt used to live around that area. And in that area, she said, look, y'all could have been playing on the outskirts of the park that night and the cops could have snatched y'all guys up easily. Understand? I didn't like him. This guy took out a multiple page ad calling for the death penalty. And then some 25, 30 years later, when it was proven via DNA that these were not the guys who did that, instead of saying sorry, instead of cleaning it up, all he had to do was clean up saying, look, I was young, I was brash, and I wanted what was best for the city that I reside in, and I wanted blood. And according to the NYPD, I thought that they had the right guys. So I was reacting off of them saying that they had the right guys. Instead of saying that, he said, I'm not sorry. Moving on. This is who we're dealing with here. This is who you're dealing with. So all the white people that stand by this guy, you're a racist and you're a dumbass. You don't know what's going on. Okay, if you live in a trailer park and you just voted for this guy, you voted against your own personal best interest. So congratulations on that. And to the people of color, I hope you get everything you deserve. That's all I'll say about that. I hope you get everything you deserve. I hope you get everything you deserve. This is just a sad situation, and I just hope everybody can get through this, man. This is just a fucked up situation that we're living in right now. And everyone just needs to just sit tight and follow the guidelines. Stay home if you can, because it's crazy out here. I live in the Bronx. I'm not in Manhattan, but there are people just on the buses for no reason, on the trains for no reason, and there's no real way to handle this, man. The virus don't move itself. We move it. You understand? I preach moving, but move your ass back in the house. All right. And if you don't feel safe going to work, don't go to fucking work. Ain't no one going to get evicted in this day and age right now. The courts aren't even open. There's no social gathering. No one, all you got to do, if you can't pay your rent, fine. All right. But when you go to court, all you're going to do is tell the judge, look, couldn't get to work because of this pandemic. People are dropping dead, but I'm back to work now. So when I get it, my landlord will get it. Fine. This is some serious shit we're dealing with here. Stay the fuck home. Stay the fuck home, man. Because I guarantee you, the people running around outside just ignoring it, they're going to catch it. Let them die. But you be smart. And that's all I'll say about that.
Excuse me. Thank you. That is allergies, by the way. That shit is allergies. I got a fan over the top of my head. Man, people have been so concerned about my mic. This is how crazy, man. I can't tell you. I've got a bunch of comments about making sure I wash off my mic. Like,
why?
They care about you.
I'm not nobody use it but you.
Exactly. That's I'm like, nobody uses it with me. But still, it's just the idea that so many people are worried about it. Now, my thing is, well, St. Cruz says globalism versus naturalism. Drew doesn't have the entire situation. No, I didn't vote for Trump, but more complicated. Well, St. Cruz, and let me give you my 2 cents on it. Because Gregory Wyatt, much love in that super chat. He said 3,565 deaths in New York alone as of 1 hour ago.
Wow.
Source: Johns Hopkins University coronavirus global tracking source. Yeah, I gotta hire you, Gregory Wyatt. I need you to be the fact check on the channel, dog. Seriously, man, you on it. You on it like you on it. And then there was another super chat, man. TC the Crisis says salute. That's what's up. Now look, man. Here's my take on it, man. And y'all get ready to get a headache, okay? Because I think the biggest problem is, there's multiple levels of a problem. You have Donald Trump, who definitely, for the role that he has, didn't do his job. That's blatantly obvious. He didn't do his job. The U.S. government didn't do their job, because the whole purpose, and I used to say this shit, and I said this shit in law school, say this shit in college all the time, man. I'm like, the whole purpose of the government is to provide for the people. We are sacrificing a lot of our personal rights in exchange for and giving a lot of our own personal authority and personal autonomy to the government in exchange for them providing services back to the citizens. That's the basis of federalism, right? And how our government is set up. But what we have right now, and I think this is being shown more than anything, I think this is a huge problem, is that capitalism is seriously flawed way to run a government or to run a country. There's just some very fundamental flaws in the whole system of capitalism. And the biggest problem with that is that everything is based on profit, right? Like you were saying, like the whole reason that a business is in business is to create a profit. So if I sell something, like if I'm a coffee business and I drink the first cup of coffee I've had in like 5 months, 4 or 5 months, but anyway, so I got up this morning because I was fucking, what do you call that? What's that stupid fucking Netflix show? Joe Tiger or whatever, man. I fucking binge watched that shit last night. I was tired as a motherfucker, dude.
Well, they say hot tea and hot coffee that's good for your immune system because it attacks the immune system. So I spoke with my cousin. He's a doctor, and the corona is half of the corona 19. That's why people get well after a while. But if you got a weak immune system, then it will attack you worse. But you take a tea of honey every day, that builds your immune system up. 100% honey builds your immune system up, and something hot coffee, hot tea, whatever, and that helps out a lot. That's what he was telling me last night. So, but they still don't know what the hell it causing it, and it mutates.
See, you cut me straight off.
I know. I get it. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know. I was just trying to, help you out. Get in a conversation with you. You're my buddy. I want to help you out. You all right? Okay.
I'm all right. I was gonna pass it to you.
Okay.
I don't care, man. But seriously though, I'm gonna tell you this: as much as I play with KQKC, man, I appreciate you so much, dude, coming to the channel every day, man. Being so reliable, so consistent, man. You are a true blessing. You are a true blessing, man. I appreciate you, man. Cutoffs and all, man. I appreciate you, man. I really do. At this point in time, I really am just fucking with you.
Okay.
But this is my thing. This is what I think. Aside from the personal failure of the different politicians, the main problem we have is that everything is generated based on profit. And you hear the presidents, you heard Obama referring to it like this. You've heard multiple presidents and politicians always talk about how we have to run this country like a business. And I'm telling you, man, that shit is you should never run a country like a business, because the shit's not a fucking business. It's a group of people that are supposed to be working with one another for each other's common good. But once you get into the idea that you need to have that you can't, like a government can't lose money, you gotta balance, like the whole even the idea of a balanced budget, dude, it's so much fucking bullshit. Because the United States, first of all, we're not a country. We have our own sovereign currency. We have our own currency, and our currency is basically the backstop of the world's currencies. You see what they did to bail out the banks. What they did to bail out the banks is they just took the US dollar and diluted it by $10 trillion, gave that $10 trillion to banks and said, hey, banks, to bail out the banks, and the banks are supposed to give out all these loans to people, right? But then instead of just giving straight support to the citizens, they're in the mode of running a business. And that's when you have all these fucking stupid decisions being made. Like, okay, well, we've got to balance our budget. So let's look at all of the different things that the government does, and then we'll weigh whether they're important or whether they're not important. So look, we need to balance our budget. So we need to get rid of the catastrophe fund, because when's the next time we're going to have a catastrophe? For the last 5 years, we've allocated 10 million, $10 billion, $1 million, whatever, to this fund, and we haven't needed it. And we're looking at our bank book. So, look, we need it. We're losing money. So we got to get rid of all of these services. And how do we deal with the things that we get rid of? Oh, well, we'll just privatize them. we'll privatize the prisons. We privatize all kind of different security forces and all that. That shit winds up being a situation where in good times, the private business community is taking a lot of the resources from the government. But when there's times of national crisis, the government's a fucking shell of itself. It's not able to mobilize because the people that are there's a section of our population that is invested in the idea that you need to have less government. Like, how many times have you heard we need less government? We need to shrink the government. We need to make the government smaller. We can't rely on the government to do anything. All of that stuff is being pushed by big time capitalists that want to privatize as much as they can. But when you have a situation like this virus, this is when you need the government. You need to be able to use the power of the Treasury of the United States in order to help people and get people to want to do the things that they're supposed to do. The idea that we have to sit here and worry about fucking eating, like I'm blessed, like so fucking blessed. And I think that people that got YouTube, like functional YouTube pages, should be feeling really blessed right now because you get to wake up in the fucking morning and go to work, like fuck it. But so many other people, you have to decide whether or not you're going to go like, shit, my kid has to go to college in 3 years. I got to go and I can't afford to pay it. I got to go take him to basketball practice. Or I got to drive this cab because shit, these motherfuckers going to send me what, $2,200? How, you have this whole idea of you having to take care of yourself. But when the United States government gives out $10 trillion to banks, you could be like, man, that's enough fucking money. If you can just give it to people, you can literally give citizens enough fucking money so they can sit in their house. They can pay all their bills. They wouldn't have to worry about doing shit for the next year. And everybody could fucking shut down and then only the really essential people would have to be out because they could put the money in the hands of the people that actually need to spend it. But what they want to do is they're so set in this fucking mindset, right? This mindset that business is going to solve everything. And, we got to make this trickle down social economic policies where we got to make sure that the people that run the big businesses, they have everything that they need. And we can give these people loans. What fucking sense does that shit make when you're going to eventually all that's going to do is push you down into debt, right? Like, oh, I guess I could take a loan out to cover my rent for the next 4 months. But when the shit passes, now I'm even further in debt. The people that got the government money to give me the loans, they can pay their money back at no interest rates, and they're collecting interest rates for me, so they make money off the shit. This shit is just it's just ridiculous, man. I was having this argument with my brother and my pops, like before all this shit popped off. It's like, look, man, you got to, at a certain fucking point in time, dude, the government needs to be what the government is. It's supposed to be for the people, by the people. For the people, by the people, but it's not. It's for some people, and more it's about massive global wealth for a small amount of individuals. When you can have a guy like Bloomberg, and this is the New York dude that I can't fucking stand. Like, this dude is so fucking over the top with his "I can save the world because I'm rich" shit.
Right.
Literally, that's how that motherfucker's pushing it. Like, I can save the world in the country because I'm rich, because look at me and how I run this shit like a business. Countries are not fucking businesses, man. In a business, you can say you're not performing. You're an employee of mine. You're not performing. I'm cutting you out because you're affecting my fucking profit. Government's not supposed to be able to do that to a citizen. They're not supposed to provide less services or be unable to service anybody at all because they don't have, that person doesn't have the fucking money, and then act as if you asking for help for a government is your fucking problem and some weakness on your part. The shit is just, I think it's a combination. I really do believe it's a combination of the individual inept, of Donald Trump being inept, but also we have a fucking system that's inept, man. It's imbalanced and it's unfucking fair. There's no fucking way in the world with all of this fucking money and all of the shit that we have, there should be this many fucking homeless people. There should be this many fucking people that can't get health care, right? You You have like all of the fucking money we spend going all around the world, and when we need it, we don't have the hospitals. We don't have the hospitals. We don't have the masks. We don't have everything that you need to take care of an epidemic like this, because all of our money is invested in making sure that the wealthiest Americans have free range all over the world to make as much money as they can fucking make. And that's the fucking sad part to me, because I earn a living, to make money or whatever. So in my life ain't bad. I make, decent money, but just the idea that its wealth is the acquisition of personal wealth for the wealthiest, most significant people in the country seems to be their whole entire fucking motivation for having a government. And when it's our time, when we need something, then the shit's fucked over. But they'll really get on it if they start dying. Like the whole issue with diabetes, gun violence, and all that shit doesn't affect the wealthy people. That doesn't affect wealthy people like that. But this shit does. So even though you might have had 4,000 people die from some other shit, but hey, man, the world's got to fucking shut down because they're starting to get hit by the shit. But but they never allowed us, or they fucking purposely diverted shit from being able to have people prepare for this shit. This shit is completely fucking foreseeable. Anyway, man, I went off on for a fucking while. Malvin said, for now, we are talking about a dereliction of duty. The government, the business, is in the business of business right now, not the business of the people. Yeah, man, this shit is not a business. It's not a business. It's not a for-profit agency. It's not supposed, like people say, well, the government does shit so they do it so inefficiently, man. Government shit tends to be a lot less fucking expensive because they don't have to fucking operate and make a profit. Where private businesses have to make a profit. They have to give you a cheaper material for a higher price. It's the purpose, that fucking whole purpose of being in business. But a country's not supposed to do that. It's supposed to provide for the welfare. It's supposed to provide for the welfare of the citizens. But that's not the business it's been in for a while. Dre's Fires has salute OG boxing talk from the DMV. Last double OG. And Gregory Wise said, okay, I got that. My man said 3,565 deaths in New York alone as of 1 hour ago. Source Johns Hopkins University coronavirus global tracking tool. Yeah, what are your thoughts on that, KQKC?
Go ahead. Here, y'all writing something down. Go ahead. What you say?
Real quick.
Go ahead. Again.
Hold on 1 second. Let me get Sean Stone. He said, facts for now. Companies are amoral, and their number one responsibility is the profit of their shareholders and not doing the right thing. Yeah, man, this shit. And Mahari Nation said, KQKC, stop sleeping on live.
Know what you're talking about, Mahari. I'm writing. All right, I'm not sleeping, sir.
Nigga, you was asleep.
I ain't sleeping today. You know I ain't sleep today, baby.
Nah, he's happy.
Yeah, I'm happy today.
You got some loving last night.
That was Friday. Everybody was laughing at me because I had on a new shirt and everything.
You got the glow. You got that glow.
Yes, sir. But anyway, hey, appreciate you, Bahari, though. But okay, what you was asking for now?
I was just like, what's your thought? Oh, Shockwave. Hold on, man. Let me get this. People calling me out on missing super chats, man. Gregory White said, I've been working in social distancing via teleconference since March 13th. Yeah, because you are a fucking baller, dude. You can do that shit. Gregory Wyatt. A lot of motherfuckers got to get out there. Truck drivers got to get the fuck out there. You know what I mean? Walmart workers got to get the fuck out there. Because, dog, when it comes between corona and hunger, motherfuckers going to take the corona.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like,
I went to Walmart and yeah.
Nobody's going to do that. Shockwave Truth said, good morning, brothers. Our version of the government, and there are really two different versions. That's a problem. COVID-19 is a cover-up for 5G radiation, AT&T versus China. I heard that stuff, man. I got to get into that. I just think the shit is so fucking overwhelmingly the fucking problem of just how we fucking conduct our lives on a day-to-day basis. But what's your thought on that? KC? Oh, man, damn, did I miss that one too? Okay, and Michael Johnson Boxing Talk More said a skipper just got relived probably for loss of confidence in my God Govs. What is it? A skipper just got revived.
I think you're saying relieved, probably for Skipper just got relieved, probably for loss of confidence in my God. Well, he said
from the zone.
Yeah, he's saying he got relieved and he probably got the COVID. I think he's talking about the skipper that got relieved and he was leaving the boat and his people were applauding him. I believe I don't know. I believe he's talking about that guy.
Oh, okay. All right, Michael Johnson. Much love, man. In that super chat. Thank you. Go ahead, KQKC.
Okay, which question you was asking? Which one?
Oh, Mr. Pedraza, Mr. Pad Rise 05 said, hope your families are well and Drew's brother recovers. Absolutely, man.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. You too. Yeah, I hope so, Drew. I hope everything is all
right.
Yeah,
just what's your thoughts on the coronavirus and and what's the biggest problem around this shit?
Well, you know what? The coronavirus, now what I have known and read about, that it has been out for years. I'm talking about before this generation. And what happened was that it mutated into this new generation, and we wasn't used to it. And that's why it spread it so fast, because our immune system couldn't handle it. Just like when you have chicken pox, it turns into the shingles. Well, people that was back there in that generation, their immune system was used to it. They might catch it, but they okay after a while, after quarantine, whatever. But now, this new generation, is dropping, because we never had it and we never knew nothing about it and we never been affected by it. But it is stopping a lot of businesses. And I'm afraid that Donald Trump too, because he's not a president. He's a businessman. And when you're a businessman, you do, dumb shit. He's not presidential. Let's be honest. He's not presidential. He don't give a shit. He should have got out in front of this. I'm quite sure his people told him. But the way he think, the way he process things, oh, that ain't no big deal. That ain't nothing. They be okay. You just, false, I'm not wanting, but it was. And now he had to pay the price. He had to own this. I'm sorry. I ain't trying to put together, because I don't care for him, this and that. He got to own this, and now he's campaigning. He don't care about us. He's campaigning. He's looking for 4 more years. That's all he care about. He been tested already about 2 or 3 times. He all right. He don't care. He said, I am not wearing a mask. That's what he said. But your motherfucking ass will wear a toupee. But you won't wear a mask. Come on, give me a break. But this coronavirus is serious. And what makes it so bad here in Chicago, they're not taking it seriously. You hardly see anybody with a mask on. People going about their everyday lives. Now, I went to get some cigarettes yesterday. Man, people all crowding and stuff with no mask on, no nothing. Just going about their day. And a few doctors here are pissed off because they're not taking it seriously. All they're saying is, hey, look, I'm going to pray on it and keep moving. Because if I worry about it, I might catch it. And that's what's wrong. Everybody hysterical and stuff. No, motherfuckers are dying. Motherfuckers are dying. You cannot say that. People are, are really affected by this. They cannot go to work. Everybody getting sent home. And I mean, yeah, this what $1,200 check, whatever. That shit can't pay a mortgage for 1 month.
Not in Chicago.
That's right. New York. I know. In Chicago, yeah, no. So that's not. I mean, oh wow, thank you. Now, what you expect gonna happen here in Chicago? We're gonna say thank you for the bread and water, and we'll be a good kid. No, motherfuckers gonna start acting a fool. They already acting a fool. They've been acting a fool. Now you ain't got no money. You ain't got no job. Hell, half the time you ain't got no food. So what do? You turn around and you revert to what you know how to do best. And you know what that is. So, they need to get control of this. It's always a country that's ahead of us. We go to school 5 days a week here. China, Japan, they go to school 6 days a week. They always a step ahead of us. We always behind. We should have this contained by now. But you know what that dumbass president said? He's going to say that, well, when the deaths slow down and even out, then I'm going to open everything back up. Oh, okay. So we just keep it under 500 deaths. Everything's okay, huh? Man, please. That's all I got to say, man. That's crazy.
Shockwave True said COVID-19 been around, and wolf dogs, D boys on East Coast used to have back in the day, and would bring them to the vet for a COVID shot. Ask a dog fighter from Virginia. What's going on, Ashley's Corner? Yeah, no doubt. And that is Cali Enigma, by the way. What's good, Cali Enigma?
Hey, what's happening, man?
What's good, fella?
Okay.
Pep up, man. We in a happy zone, dog. We in a happy zone. We know you getting up early as shit out there in Cali, man. We appreciate
Man,
it.
I naturally get up, man. I mean, I naturally get up like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, 1 o'clock in the morning. It's my body clock. Just naturally wakes me up no matter what. So it doesn't matter what time I went to. I think I went to sleep at midnight last night, and I still woke up at 3 a.m. So it just no matter what, my body clock says up, time to get up. So
Yeah, that's how I am. Yeah.
I'm up. And normally I don't sleep. And normally I can't even stay up till midnight, just based off the way my body clock is, because I always get up so early. But it is what it is. But yeah, man. I mean, all of this, as far as you want to talk about from the political standpoint, Donald Trump's an absolute and a complete and utter idiot. But let's not just act like it's only been Donald Trump. Donald Trump should have did a nationwide lockdown. But Mayor de Blasio of New York, a Democrat. The governor of New York, a Democrat. That dude was good. He was late. They responded very late to they had an opportunity to lock down their state, to lock down their city, and they didn't.
Yeah, but they take their fee from the president, though.
No, and they just taking you as a governor. I mean, the governor in California, and Gavin Newsom, he locked down the state, and we have way more people than the state of New York.
No.
Way more people in the state of New York. We have twice as many people. We have twice. Yes, it's true. We have twice as many people in the state of California than New York does, and we don't have nearly as many cases or nearly as many deaths. Not saying that our situation is great, but it's far better than New York's because we reacted quicker.
I'm not saying lock down the state or nothing like that. I'm saying that the president has a team.
No, I'm saying the president was sorry. The president is a sorry ass dude. I'm just saying that but hold on, this is my point. We know what he's doing. Hold on, go ahead.
Hold on, Callie. Because KQ cut you off like 4 fucking times. So
I'm sorry.
Get it out.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, KQ.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just saying that the president has a team, and he should have got out in front of this before he got out of hand. That's all.
But okay. Democrats know that this dude doesn't do shit, that he's sorry. We know that this is a sorry motherfucker. I know I said, especially the Democratic Party should know that this dude's sorry. You know this dude ain't shit. You know he's dumb. You know he's corrupt. You know this. So why would you listen to this dude? Why would you listen to this dude? You know this dude don't give a fuck. You know this dude is a fraud. When you first started catching cases in your states, you should have been doing something then. But they waited. They waited. The CDC was putting out information. The CDC, the Center for Disease Control, was putting out information telling people, okay, it's time to start, locking down. They told people to do this way ahead of time. Every state had a window, and New York State dragged its feet. The city of New York dragged its feet. Even California dragged its feet to a certain extent as well. But if we would have moved quicker, we would have been a lot better off today. Everyone pretty much moved their feet, but some moved their feet a lot worse than others. De Blasio has been a disaster, the mayor of New York City.
Can I tell you what to do? Can I tell you what kind of luck? Can I tell you what kind of luck we've had? This is the kind of luck we've had. Yeah.
Hold on 1 second, man. Callie, finish what you're saying in just a couple seconds and give a firm break so I can give it to Drew, and then I'll get it back to you.
Okay. Yeah. It's really sad watching all of our politicians and us, and I can go into a whole lot of other stuff, especially with this whole stimulus package that came down, which was a corporate giveaway and really doesn't help the citizens of this country very much. Both parties agreed to put the fuck to you. Meanwhile, they're giving out $1 trillion a day to the banks.
Go to the subject that you're going to say so I can pass it to Drew.
No, that's basically what I was just talking about. Just talking about that the governor and the mayor of the governor of New York State and the mayor of New York City failed. Man, we know that the idiot in the White House, you can't rely on this dude, and you shouldn't rely on this dude. You should be paying attention to the CDC. We should have known this. We've had this dude for basically 4 years. We know he sucks. We shouldn't take our cues from him. We should take our cues from experts. And the CDC and the World Health Organization was warning us and telling us what to do. And that's who we should have listened to. And that's who they should have listened to.
Drew?
Yeah, just to add to what he's saying, the kind of luck that my city has had, we got de Blasio, who's a complete failure. And prior to him, who was our mayor? Michael Bloomberg. Yep. And I'm not even going to begin to tell you what kind of a disaster he was as far as taking care of the civil servants, fucking with our pay. I'm not even going to.
Yeah, my man Gregory Wise said personal genetic deselection via ignorance and scientific immaturity is good.
You're supposed to get a break on Sundays.
What do you say?
You're supposed to get a break on Sundays. You Sundays, you should be all right parking under like certain signs or whatever, metered signs to be very clear. This motherfucker, the second he went in office, all of those signs said including Sundays. So you had to pay meters 7 days a week. 7 days a week.
That's the thing I'm telling you, Drew. That's because that motherfucker runs a business.
He runs a business, but let me add to that.
He's also a union buster.
Right.
But his mentality is the mentality of a person that runs a business, that wants to run a government like a business, is that you have to find things to cut because you don't create. The only way a government creates revenue is by taxing. And who are they going to tax? They're going to tax the business people because they're the ones with all the fucking money. So they have to find a way. To make sure that, because there's one or two ways to increase or maintain profit. You either increase revenue or you decrease cost. And since they're not interested in increasing revenue, because increasing revenue would take, man, shut the fuck up, Zidalism. That shit is true as fuck. And I'm sick of you ignorant motherfuckers talking shit. Shut the fuck up. That's how fucking business works. Every fucking business you have is operated off of profit, you fucking moron. The difference between what you pay and what you pay and what you sell it for is gross profit, you dumb motherfucker. That's what it is. And when you run a business, that's what you're in business for. Fucking profit. It's fucking business 101, you fucking moron.
And you also know that to the Supreme Court ruled that a corporation has to make a profit over everything.
Hold on, Kelly. Fanon's still talking.
Because let's just this because this is an irritating topic. I want to make sure everybody gets a chance to finish what they're saying. Because we're not debating with each other, but let's just make sure we all get a chance to explain fully what we're saying without cutting each other off. Because there ain't no time limit on what anybody wants to say. But I want to finish this. Because this stupid motherfucker, shut up. That's what it is. And a government only earns money in two fucking ways. They only make money one way. Taxes. And charging you for your services. That's how road taxes. If you drive down a fucking street and you go past a one of them little things, a tollway, that's a fucking tax. Your income tax, your federal tax. They're gonna charging you fees and shit for you fucking up things you're supposed to do. That's how you generate fucking money in a business. You want to look at another way that they add in a government. Look at how they fucking did. What's the place where Michael Brown got killed? Ferguson, Missouri. Look at how the motherfuckers, when they went in there, they looked into the business operations of Ferguson, Missouri. They found out that their main source of revenue was ticketing people, charging people money when they couldn't pay their tickets. And when people can't pay their tickets, they also got government federal money. That's why so many people were getting arrested, because that's how they increase revenue. When you have a business fucking mentality, you can only increase revenue or you decrease cost, or both. You try to increase revenue and decrease cost so you can show a profit. That's what it is. And when you have a government that does that, the people are the source of the revenue, and the people are the source of the reduced cost. So you take away shit you don't think you need, like disaster recoveries, like pandemic organizations, like equal rights commissions, things that you do not prioritize because they all cost money, and they cut them down to skeleton organizations so you can still say you have it, but they're not going to invest any money in it because they are trying to what? Balance the budget. But you see how much bullshit balancing the budget is with the government. Then they bailed out the banks in 2008. How did they, you fucking moron, bail out the banks? Did they take taxpayer dollars to do it? No. What they did was they just came up with money by moving decimal points to the right, by issuing bonds, right, that people would buy, that they promised they would back and pay back, which generated fake ass fucking money that they handed to the banks. Essentially, all they did is type the fucking information in a fucking box and said, magically, we got another $10 trillion. If you can do that shit, why the fuck do you need to balance a budget? Think about it. What business, if they could print fucking money, would have to balance a budget? They wouldn't. There's no fucking need to balance a fucking budget because you have your own fucking currency and you can dilute that shit as much as you fucking want. But they would rather do that. They would rather do that than give the money to the actual people that need the shit. But anyway, if you run the business, if you run a country is not a business. It is not a for-profit organization. The purpose of the government is to provide services and security to its citizens. Otherwise, there's no fucking reason for it to exist. That is not the business of IBM. IBM's business is to make money, to generate profit for shareholders. The United States of America does not have shareholders. It has citizens. And the businesses are supposed to provide return on investment to shareholders. Countries are supposed to provide return on investments to citizens. They're not supposed to fucking drain them, leave them out there fucking hanging, and cut off all kind of fucking services and do all kind of stupid and outsource prisons and do shit like that, dude. So just the dude that said that shit, shut the fuck up. You're one of them cats that watch fucking Fox News. Shut up and read a fucking book. Anyway, sorry, Cali Enigma. Go ahead, man.
No, I was saying that there was a case with between eBay and I forgot the other company, but the Supreme Court ruled that
I think you're on mute, Kelly.
businesses first, huh?
No, I can hear him. I can hear him.
I can't hear him.
You can't hear me? You guys can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. The Supreme Court, it was eBay. I forgot what it was, but eBay stated in the case, it stated that a corporation's first priority is to make profits for their shareholders. So that means at the expense of everyone else, they have to make sure that they're which is what you saw with you guys know, had ever heard of what the hell is the name of the company? 3M. 3M, the company that makes masks, right? So their first priority, instead of making masks for Americans, is they're still selling masks all over the world. Now, of course, the president of the United States has the power to stop that, but he's kind of refused to do that until fucking Thursday. Thursday, he finally started to enforce corporations to start making essentials that we need. So this is how much this fucking idiot drags his feet, and he should pay a political price for it. In my opinion, man, I just really fucking hate the choices, but I would like to believe that Joe Biden wouldn't drag the way that this fucking dude has. But what frustrates me about this whole situation we have going on? We have an idiot as president, but our second option sucks, man. Let's keep it 100, man. And it matters because in our political system, our politicians are bought and paid for. And I just have to pass on this information. Most people don't know this. Joe Biden in his political campaign, he has multiple health insurance lobbyists working for him. He has multiple bank, he has multiple hedge fund managers working his political campaign. He has Amazon workers, Amazon executives working in his campaign. You guys ever heard of the revolving door where people go into government and then they go into industry? And then, of course, what happens is that those industries are deregulated and they're allowed to fuck you over. And this is what happens within the Democratic and Republican Party. So you always have an option of shitty and shittier. And so after when you vote for harm reduction. You vote for harm reduction. This is something that a lot of us don't really talk about very much, but it's the truth. As far as Joe Biden, I know a lot of people, especially a lot of black people, like Joe Biden because he was with Barack Obama. But Barack Obama was owned and paid for by Citigroup. Citigroup, when it came to Citigroup, all but one of Obama's financial team was appointed by Citigroup. This is not me making it up. These were in the emails that were released. The DNC never. The DNC never denied. Okay, you can go ahead. The DNC never denied
that shit.
No, the DNC never denied that wasn't true. You can say Obama.
All right, man. I got to get you guys on mute, man. Dog, no arguments like flat out in the middle of it. Go ahead and finish what you're saying, Callie, and then KQKC go next, man. But because remember, we're talking for the people that listen. If we cutting each other off, debating with each other, the people in the comment section can't hear what we got to say. But disagreements are cool. So Callie, man, give it like another 2 minutes and let me get to KQKC. So
okay.
What you said.
Yeah. So we already know that the DNC emails were hacked, but the DNC, they never denied that those emails weren't true because they were. We also know that there are a lot of things going on and plots. And of course, Hillary Clinton wanted to run against Donald Trump. They propped up Donald Trump because they thought he would be easier to win. And of course, it cost Hillary Clinton. But then, of course, Hillary Clinton went on to not campaign in the Midwest until the last few days either. So they blame everybody but themselves. But the Democratic Party, they're corrupt, but the Republican Party, they're flat out. They're to me, they're totally and completely unelectable. The Republican Party, the terrorist organization, but the Democratic Party sucks.
Hold on, Callie. KQKC. What do you guys say, man, about that?
No, I'm just tired. Barack Obama's a good man. I know him. All right. He ain't nobody puppet. All right. He's a Harvard law lawyer. I remember when he went out in the projects for free of charge and did a lot for elderly people, all Gale Garden. Ain't nobody know him better than I do. He was the first black president. Don't ever disrespect. He's a puppet. Now, he might have been in government and they might have been this and that. But everybody got some shit in their closet. All right. And everybody, especially black people. All right. In this day and time and what's going on, you need some motivators. You need God, because people look at God for inspiration and relief. So sometimes you have to understand. So don't ever disrespect the first black president that will have his name in history. He had done a lot of good things for this community, and especially this community in Chicago. I know that for a fact, as a community organizer and as a state legislator and as the president of the United States. So that's all I got to say. Please, Kelly, you my guy. I like you. I like you a lot. But please don't disrespect the first black president, probably the only one we gonna have. So let's give him a little respect. All right. If anything, remember, he wasn't the president of the black people. He was the president of the United States. All right. So let's give him a little goddamn respect here.
Can I respond to
that? Not right this second. Hold on 1 second. Let me get to these super chats. And then I'll send it right back. I'll send it right back to you because we got some heat up in this bitch this morning. This is fun. All right, man. Politics it is today, man. That's what we doing. Shockwave the Truth said, Bert. Oh, man. Hold on 1 second, man. Because I don't want to mess anybody up. I've been getting a lot of complaints about not doing these super chats, man. But yeah, you're just going to go right back to Callie. Callie, we don't make the rules. This is their game. Can't blame Obama for playing by their rules. That's my man Shockwave Truth. Shockwave Truth Again said, fire, you want it 100. Shockwave, we run the government, whites run business. Shockwave said he ain't dumb. He just orchestrated the U.S. retreat from world leadership. This is how, after COVID-19, will be the excuse for the U.S. not to be the leader. Gregory Wyatt, I think I did get that one, said personal genetic deselection. I don't understand what that shit means. Damn it. You be kidding me, Gregory. Personal genetic deselection via ignorance and scientific immaturity. Oh, so basically, so you're personally genetic, so you're just gonna fuck yourself over because you're stupid and you don't believe what science says, and you don't believe what science, and you're just gonna go your own way. But hell, that works. Okay, that's my interpretation of what Gregory Wyatt had to say. Gregory Wyatt's one of them smart Negroes, man. Gotta love Gregory Wyatt, man. And all right, so we get right back to the heat. We throw this back over to it. I'm putting cats on mute because we cutting each other off a lot, and this political shit is gonna be what it is, though. Cali Nigma, please respond to. Hold on, before Cali flips and they guys go back at each other. Drew, you got something to add to that briefly?
I'm not going to touch the Obama thing. What I will say, just to get back on what I was saying about Mayor quote unquote Bloomberg, where
let's pass it back to Bloomberg after Cali gets his retort. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, go ahead. That's it, Cali. I'm gonna take you off mute now, Cali. Go ahead, man.
Okay. First thing, how is that disrespectful? Just by displaying facts. And I didn't just get on Obama. I said the Republican Party is a terrorist organization. Now let's just go back to Ronald Reagan. I'm going to go through. I'm going to go back because I'm just. There's a point. It's going to be very quick.
Okay, but question. Do you seriously want an answer to that question?
Do I want to answer to that question? Yeah, I'm getting ready to respond to this question. It's going to be quick.
No, you asked him a question.
No. I didn't disrespect Barack Obama. I just told the truth. Those are the facts. It's not being disrespectful by telling the truth. He didn't rebut anything that I stated. He just said it offended him because I told the truth. And that's what happens. I never got any rebuttal. Like, he didn't say what I said was wrong.
I don't think he thinks that's the truth.
Yeah, but he didn't refute anything.
Okay, well, we'll get to it. So I just want to make hold on. I'm gonna make sure that I pin that so KQKC has a chance. So has a chance to answer that specifically. But you finish your point. But then I will ask KQKC that particular question.
Okay. Every president that we've had since Ronald Reagan had Treasury Secretary has come from Goldman Sachs. I mean, even this current president that we have right now. Do you see the scam that's going on? I'm talking about the revolving door here. Economic collapse that started in 2007 with Bear Stearns and came because of the deregulation of the banking industry called we removed Glass-Steagall. Glass-Steagall was when you remove commercial banking from investment banking. That happened under Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton deregulated the banks. We know that. We know that the Democratic Congress with the combination of Republicans, they deregulated the banks. This was under matter of fact, Rubin was the Treasury Secretary at the time. I think Robert Rubin was the Treasury Secretary at the time, and he came from Goldman Sachs, and he pushed for the deregulation of the banks. And that was one of the main reasons why we had a major economic collapse under the Bush administration. So these are the things that I'm talking about, the discussions. You're not allowed to in this country. This country doesn't want anybody to appoint a Treasury Secretary that doesn't come from that industry. If you want to see some type of changes, we need to go in a different direction. We need an economist as Treasury Secretary. And unfortunately, Barack Obama followed the same. Because we knew, look, man, if you go back and you watch, well, all you got to do when it comes to politicians, follow the money, follow who donates money to their political campaign. And that's how you'll figure out how they're going to campaign. I mean, that's how they're going to govern. If you watch who donates to which candidate. So when Barack Obama was running for president of the United States, he received money just like Bill Clinton, just like Ronald Reagan, just like George W. Bush, just like Donald Trump. They all received money from banks like Chase, Citigroup, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, the huge multinational banking organizations, or I should say bank firms, all over the world. And this is one of the reasons why we have a revolving door. So what happens is they receive money, and then they have influence on who gets in their cabinet. And that's why we have the issues of what we have today. Like we had the Dodd-Frank regulatory bill, which was weak. We knew it was weak. Paul Volcker, he removed his name from a big portion of the Dodd-Frank bill because he said it was too weak, and he didn't want to be he didn't want his name attached to that portion of the bill because it was so weak, and it was much easier for the banks to manipulate. So as of right now, we have a huge housing crisis going on right now due to the fact that Dodd-Frank bill was garbage. It's not me making it up. You can look this stuff. You can Google this stuff. These things are true. These things are factual. We have a major housing crisis going on right now. Another housing bubble due to the fact that Dodd-Frank is whack.
I'm not sure. Are you going to keep going? Because
no, I was letting them go off because I'm not. I know you told me not to go too long. That's why I'm done.
Keep going. I'm just not. I guess I just want to make sure that we're getting that the audience gets a firm point that you're making.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So my point is this. Like I said, it's all about the revolving door. Barack Obama also had people from the health insurance industry working in his national health. Matter of fact, his national health director, Kathleen Sebelius, she was governor, but she also worked in the health insurance field. She had ties there. She had family members working there. We also know the same thing happened, but it's not just Barack Obama. It's happened under Bill Clinton. It happened under George W. Bush. It happened under Ronald Reagan. It's happened under this piece of shit that we have as president right now. I just want people to wake up to the con game and start following the money. If you follow the money, then it will allow you to choose wisely. If you don't follow the money, then we're going to continue the same kind of con game that we've had going on right now. You get a chance to choose the lesser of two evils. Yes, the Republican Party is usually always far more evil than the Democratic Party because they're a party that's totally and completely and utterly sold out to industry. I don't give a fuck what industry it is. They're sold out to industry. And the Republican Party won't lie to you about that. There was a study that came out, I believe it was Duke.
Okay, hold on, man.
All right.
Hold on. KQKC, why did you find what he said disrespectful? Hold on, I'm sorry.
Obama.
Start again because I messed up. How did you find what Callie said disrespectful?
No. I was just talking about Barack Obama. He's nobody puppet. All right. I know him personally. All right. I worked for him voluntarily. And I have seen what he done. First of all, for the black community. Then once he came president, he wasn't just the black community. He was everybody's president. And yes, he will hire somebody from the healthcare. Why? Everybody did. Remember Hillary? She tried to get the healthcare going, but she didn't. But Barack Obama did. All right. And a lot of people ain't using the hospital rooms as doctor offices no more. They actually can go to a doctor. Yes, he got that passed. He got that done. That was his first agenda. All right. I'm not talking about what he stopped the war in Afghanistan. I'm not talking about all that. All that conspiracy theories. All that. Fox gonna write what they want. Newsweek gonna write what they want. All right. The New York Post gonna write what they want. You got to look yourself. See, Kelly, he seemed like he lost. No offense, Kelly. it seemed like he lost. Like with God.
Can I rebut this after?
It seemed like y'all lost. And it seemed like, I don't understand, but sometimes you can't believe, what you read all the time. The book, you can't judge a book by its cover. Remember that. But only thing, I don't have no problem with he's saying about anything. All right. I just don't with Barack Obama, I show him respect. That's all I'm saying. Please, just show him respect. That's all. I don't have a problem.
Pause 1 second, man. Okay, cool. That all right. So we got that. My man Shockwave True said, Callie, that's true. So why don't we profit off of housing? Shockwave, Callie, the U.S. government is our terror org, Tulsa, Tuskegee, both parties. Sean Snowden, our government was lost, and Buckley v. Vallejo was done. That was the beginning again. So you guys know Buckley versus Vallejo. That was with the campaign. That was the case that made it unconstitutional to set. I think it was to set federal campaign limits and equated donating money with freedom of speech.
Yeah, Citizens United.
As a former, what do you say?
That was called, Citizens United is another way of called what it was called too. But you're right. That's what he's talking about. Citizens United.
Buckley versus, I think those are two different things. I think they're two different things. But regardless, Buckley versus Vallejo is a U.S. constitutional law, Supreme Court, based on campaign finance. The majority of the justices held the limits on election spending in Federal Election Act of 1971, Section 608 are unconstitutional. So that one particular is about laying making campaign contributions limitations to federal campaign contributions illegal, even though I think that they are. I have to brush up on all that. Regardless, let me give you my two thoughts on that, and I'm gonna pass it to Drew Titan. We got a lot of cult of personality stuff going on, and now this is me telling you this as somebody that went to law school. I'm a political science major in undergrad. I've worked on political campaigns. I'm fucking a high school graduate, right? So I understand what the federal system is. And one thing I think people do is that they think of the president of the United States as the person that really is the leader of the country, but that's not true. What they are is a leader of a branch of government, the executive branch of the government, but there is a separation of powers between the judiciary and the state government. And the federal government, and whatever is not given specifically to the federal government is given by the Constitution to the states. So we are pretty much a government of 50 different states that all have three different branches of government. So 50 times 3 is 150, right? Is 150. So we had 153 separate government entities that affect the lives of American citizens. I do not believe that Barack Obama, that any particular president, the way it's set up, is the beginning or the end of any of that stuff, because they don't have the power in and of themselves to do what they want to do all of the time. Now, I know that there's been like different executive orders and attempts to expand the power of the executive branch, and right, but pretty much there can be gridlock. The way that to prevent politicians from doing what they want to do, the business community and wealthy individuals have something in place to create gridlock in the system. So if they don't want Barack Obama to pass any particular regulation, they have the ability to do that because they can hold that shit up in the Senate. They can hold it up in the Congress, and they can hold it up through initiating cases through the Supreme Court. But a lot of time what we do is we focus so much on that one in particular guy because you can put your finger on him, right? Because he's the only single person to control a executive branch of government. But he and of himself, they do not have the power or the ability to do everything that they want to do. And they're going to always be caught in some amount of give and take between them and the Senate and the Congress. It's a big mess. But that's why I think that the basic fundamental issue that all of that sits on is the desire, is the necessity, is the government not as a whole, not working for the people, but working for the interests of some people. I'm not that hard on, and I don't like Donald Trump. I'm not as hard on Donald Trump as some other people are. I'm not as hard as on Obama as some other people are. I'm very hard on Hillary Clinton because I think Hillary Clinton is literally part of that fucking. I think she's the fucking devil. Like I believe she's the fucking devil. I'm hard on her, but the virus. I mean, that's something that occurs in nature. Do I believe that it occurs, that it can't be played with? I definitely believe it can be played with, but right now, I think the most important thing is to figure out how you get out of it, which goes back to what Drew said, which is sit your ass at home. You know what I mean? Wash your hands 5 times a fucking day, 6 feet away from each other, because that's about all we can do. You know what I mean? And is to affect our own life. Now, Drew Titan, what's your take on that, man? And we're gonna talk a little boxing today.
Well, not into I'll just keep it short and sweet, and I'll just dumb it down. I try not to get emotionally attached to a certain politicians. We've had some good ones, we have some horrible ones, but look, everyone is flawed. You know, not everyone could do a perfect job, granted, with the tools that they're given. You understand? We as Black people, I want to say the majority of us, majority, not all, the majority of us are going to have unconditional love for Barack because, you know, he was our president, and a lot of people are going to harbor certain feelings. I'm seeing people in the chat talking about, oh, well, you know, he supported gays more than he supported Black people. And, you know, look, I'm not going to get into all of that, man. I'm not, because we can go on and on and on. Was he perfect? No. But did he do a job of what he had to work with? Yes, he did. And you know what? I'm not even going to get into all that. That's all I'm going to say about that. I'm just saying at this current junction, what he had in place was good for its time. It actually would be good now, because all Trump did the first 2 years of his presidency was focus on just dismantling everything he had in place. And people didn't pay attention to that. And one of those things was fucking with the CDC and what he had intact to deal with the pandemic. And that's the cold hard facts. All right. He fucked with that. And this happened. And what Obama had in place was not there to handle this situation. And that's just the long and short end of it. That's what happened. That's what happened. And I'm sure there's other things that went on alongside of that. But listen, the bottom line is this here. This is a result of lack of leadership. It's a lack of leadership right here, you know, and poor work output reflects leadership. You know, you see it in sports. You know, when a team is fucking up and losing games, what do? Do they not fire the head coach? Then after that, if the franchise can't get it together, they start going up the line. Fire the head coach, the defensive coach, and all the way up to the front office if they have to make changes. You understand? Because they're not getting effective results. You know, I've always been a firm believer. Poor work output reflects leadership. And where's the leadership? All right. And the fact is the leadership of this country listen, Donald Trump has 4,000 bodies under his belt right now. And we're not even at war, at a conventional war. All right. 4,000 dead bodies on American soil. So take what you want from that. And that's all I say about that. We can get to some boxing.
Can I rebut real quick? And then I'll be done.
Let me read the super chat real quick, Callie. Shockwave True said, healed myself 17 days ago from COVID-19. Citrus spice, mixed boiling, inhaling vapors, and drinking tea, natural detox. All it is mucus. It is definitely a viral infection. From what I understand, it's a viral infection, or isn't it like a respiratory infection, right?
Yes, it hides in the coolest place. And a doctor told me this. A doctor, it hides in the coolest place in your body, and that place is the nasal canal. And a basic remedy he also told me would be like spraying your face with some water and taking a hairdryer, and in increments just blowing up the hot air up your nose. And it's not a means to 100% cure, but it'll make you feel better. And in the long run, it might not take you out. I mean, so little remedies. I don't disagree with what Shockwave is saying. I don't disagree. There's definitely some merit to what he's saying. Simple remedies. I mean, this is a virus. You know, simple remedies can take out a virus, man. It might be a situation where we don't have to wait for a goddamn antibody or whatever they're making. You know, we're gonna have to wait for that, man. Simple home remedies that grandma used to use to take care of us, you know what I'm saying, could solve this thing. And the hair dryer up the nose and what Shockwave was talking about, those are things that I'm hearing, you know, because 5,000 people recovered from this thing. They're not reporting that. And they're not just sitting at home waiting for the government to help them. They're doing things to help themselves. and they're not talking about that. So, you know, there's merit to what Shockwave is saying. Definitely.
Mahari Nation Sports Podcast said KQKC woke up like Black Fight Fan TV praising Loma when somebody mentioned on Obama. The hell with Lomachenko. Yeah, KQKC, man, we from the Chi. We ain't fucking around with Obama. We trying to steal local heroes from people. You know, it is what it is, though, man. Go ahead with that. What you were going to say, Callie?
Yeah, man. What I was going to say is that Obama, man, what Obama passed when it came to Obamacare. And then I'm gonna get into what the Republicans quickly too. But Obamacare was originally created by the Heritage Foundation in the 60s. Then Nixon tried to pass it in the 70s, but he was stymied. And then Mitt Romney passed it in Massachusetts into like around 2010. So Obamacare is basically Heritage Foundation care. And if you don't believe me, you can actually look this shit up. A Heritage Foundation turned against it once Obama passed it, though, which was fucking hilarious. But Obama himself, and I played it on my channel, Obama admitted if this was the 1980s, he would be a moderate Republican. But let's go on, let's talk about the Republican Party too, because KKKC Boxing thinks I just hate Obama, and I don't like any of the Democrats, man, to be honest with you, but or the Republicans.
Hold on, that's taking the whole conversation somewhere else. I don't think anybody in here is necessarily having an issue with the Republican Party. People just have an issue. If you had an issue with Barack Obama,
I have an issue with the Democratic Party, man. I don't fuck about Democrats. I think the Republican Party is a terrorist organization.
Yeah, I mean, but that's, the Democratic Party. You made a statement about Barack Obama. That's either true or not, regardless of the Republicans. I think we all like in agreement about that. But let's try to bounce it. Let me get to a couple super chats, man. I appreciate you guys so much for the support, man. So the vaccine will be the virus. Yeah, that's how vaccines work. He said, yes, eat poke salad is good for you. What's poke salad? Pork salad? What's a poke salad? What's a poke salad? I've never heard of that before.
Poke salad.
Here. Oh yeah, okay. I got Mahari.
What
Nation.
The fuck is the poke salad?
I don't know what the fuck that is, man. I don't know what that is. Write it again, man, so I can get it. I don't know what a poke salad is. Artwork. KQK is speaking with emotions. You have to talk this. Take that out of discussions. No, Artwork, you do not. I think that shit is just like not true. It's his life, dude. You got emotions about it. Drew Titan's brother got coronavirus. There's emotions around that, man. Like the idea that you remove emotions from whatever thing that you're thinking about, dude, we're not fucking Spock, man. You know what I mean? You can't tell somebody like KQKC who knows Barack Obama, who knows, because there is something about that. Knowing a politician, being around them, knowing them as a person, and knowing what type of person they are, you know, like if you portray, matter of fact, I'll use an example. I had a friend that I went to school with that was a mayor of DC. I know the guy. I know what kind of person he is. I've known him for years. But if you listen to some people in DC talk about what kind of guy he is, he's the devil fucking incarnate. You know what I mean? He's the devil incarnate. But I know the dude, and I know what he was trying to do with the things that he tried to, what he was trying to accomplish. And I also knew how there were give and takes. I mean, he's fucking around playing with the devil. You know what I mean? He is basically what's going on? He said it's Kale. What's going on, Martin McClendon? He's basically a good dude who's in a situation of having to negotiate with guys with a lot of people that have their own interests. And whenever you get into that, there's give and takes there's give and takes, which is why I never really wanted to be a politician. Once you get into that situation, nothing for the most part is going to go through just the way that you want to go through, because there's so many people that have the ability to stop what you want to get done. I'm not giving, that's not a personal endorsement for Barack Obama. Or it's not me, criticizing Barack Obama, but it is reasonable for somebody who knows Barack Obama as a person and might know him better than you know him to say, hey man, no, that's not the way that I see it. I think that's a fair thing whenever you have a relationship with anybody. I mean, I've got, boxers like Errol Spence. I've met Errol Spence. It's very difficult for me not to like Errol Spence because I've met him. You know what I mean? I've met him. I've been to his gym. I know his father. I've seen how he treated me. Right? When he didn't have to treat me well, he didn't have to speak to me kindly. You know, he seemed like a very, very good dude. So when people are talking about this and that and the other thing, I have him as a personal reference. You know, my experience with him is a personal reference. I know Barack Obama too. I know his wife. You know, it's like I met his wife more than I've been around him. But my brother was fucking best friends with the dude for several years. So you know that the guy, you know that he cares about what he's doing. He is an extremely, extremely ambitious person now with a monster fucking ego. But shit, who doesn't? Shit, everybody on this panel got a big fucking ego. But I just think that we get a little bit out of place when we looking like at all of the trees. Because I respect what Callie's saying. Callie's looking at all of the trees, all of the leaves on the tree. What I'm telling you is this: look at the fucking forest. The forest is this: that there's a small group of incredibly wealthy individuals. Because when you say Goldman Sachs, you're talking, that's an investment. That is a financial institution, and they're playing with somebody's money. The people that are important behind Goldman Sachs are the people that give Goldman Sachs their money, right? Those are the billionaires. That's that 0.001% of the United States that wants things to go the way that they want to go, and they have enough money to hire an army of attorneys. They have the ability to and the money and the time to lobby and write these laws for people. What a lot of people don't get is that a lot of the bills that get presented in Congress aren't actually written by the staff of the congressman that introduced it. It's written by a lobbyist on K Street, right, in DC on the federal level, or somewhere in Springfield, Illinois, right? Some lawyers for some lobbyists in Springfield, Illinois for the state of Illinois, or in Austin, Texas for the state of Texas. It's a lot of moving pieces in that stuff. But the basic fundamental problem is that everybody is operating off the idea that they need to make a profit. And when you need to make a profit, that is always involving getting more than you give. That's my nut. That's the nut of the fucking problem to me. The kernel of the fucking problem to me is that when you're dealing with purely capitalistic motivations, you are always seeking an imbalance between you and the person that you're doing business with. If I want to sell Drew Titan a cup, I only paid 5 cents for this cup, but I want $5 from him. That's a fucking imbalance. And when you're in business, and that's how you can make extraordinary profits like that. And that's quoted, they changed that to that shit causes a lot of fucking problems. And that's why you wind up having these incredible disparities where you have somebody like Jeff Bezos. This motherfucker got $70 billion. I had an argument with my dad. I was like, he earned that money. I'm like, you cannot earn $70 billion. There's nothing you can fucking do in your life that where you deserve $70 billion. He does not deliver the food himself. He's not building the fucking food. I mean, he's not growing the food, selling the food, cooking the food. He is not a one-man $7 billion fucking shop. The way that he is making money is that he is paying people less money than the money that he gets for selling the product. For every dollar that he's putting out to people that he pays, or people that he pays, or institutions that he paid, he's taking $3 for himself. And that shit is a basic fucking imbalance in how we live our lives. And it's bigger than the politicians who need money to run for office, who need money and live in that system themselves, then they run for office as a way to elevate themselves into life afterwards. If people really wanted to kill that shit, you would prevent any former congressman or senator or president from ever lobbying for somebody, forever working in the government again. When you get done with your shit, you can never, ever make money off the connections that you made as a congressman, because that's what they're in it for. 3-4 years of doing it, and then they're out to a lobbying firm where they can make a shitload of money directing money away from the average citizen and to the corporations, which is a basic structural problem, and it's not a personality problem. It's my opinion that as long as we focus on the personalities involved, then you'll always think that all you need to do is just change the guy, right? If we just get rid of Trump, these problems will be solved. Well, really? Well, then next year we get Biden. Well, Biden's a fuck up. Well, if we get rid of Biden, then the next guy will be good, right? Michelle Obama runs for office. She'll fix it. And you're always looking for one guy to the next guy to the next guy in the cult of fucking personality instead of looking at the underlying system that's creating all these fucking inequities.
We need a constitutional amendment.
For what?
To overturn Citizens United, we need to get the money out of politics. That's what we really need.
Oh, see, this is what I'm saying. You're never going to get the money out of politics. You're never going to get the fucking money out of politics, dude. Because politics is the relationship between human beings. That's what politics are. Whether it's boxing politics, government politics, family politics, it's the relationship between individuals. As long as you need money to fucking eat, money is going to be essential to what you do. And the people that have the money over you, that have more money than you, that have a bigger voice from you, are going to be able to manipulate you into doing what they want you to do because you need the money. It's the basic fun. That's why fucking the coronavirus can get fucking solved in China so much more quickly. Because the motherfuckers say, look, we locking all you motherfuckers down. We're not asking you. Show your ass the fuck up outside and catch a bullet. Sit your ass in this fucking house. Right? Because they have the ability as a country to do that. They can tell you, sit your ass down in this fucking house and don't move. We can't do that. And so as a result, people got to run around and get money, do what they want to do, and it's going to take that much longer to solve it. I think people put too much, my personal belief is I think people put too much fucking emphasis on one area of human relations, right? Whether it's politics or it's entertainment or it's law, labor, what have you. It's a holistic life, but that's my Neely Fuller Jr. side of me. Shockwave said, for non-civics 101. Yeah, that is civics 101. People telling you, man, issue is the fucking green, dude.
No, but I know how civics work. I know how civics work. Like I said, but it's all about the money and politics. That's what I mentioned that from the get-go. It's all about the money. The money impacts the voting mindset of that representative, of that senator, of that president. It makes a big ass difference. Those campaign donations, you yourself cannot donate more money to a super PAC than someone like Charles Koch or somebody from the Walton family. They have the ability to outbid you. You can max out at $2,800, but then they can go ahead and drop them $1 million or $1.5 million in someone's super PAC. And who do you think they're going to listen to? You or that person? And that's our system.
Capitalism is biblical and Bibles have copyrights. What is the capitalism is biblical? Capitalism is a way to try to replace serfdom. That's what it is. Capitalism was invented as a system to replace serfdom. That's what capitalism is. Instead of having the land and the people that lived on it indefinitely tied to a lord, right? Now you have the employee-employer relationship. Instead of the serf, the lord and the serf, or the king and the subject, now you have company and employee. Fundamentally, it's the same fucking situation. Who has the most control over your life? Who is your master? Your master in your life is the person that pays you. They have incredible control over your fucking life, right? You have to show up to work at this particular time. If I don't like you, if I got some type of fucking issue with you, I can take your life, I can take your livelihood away from you and send you out into the fucking wilderness. That is the same fucking relationship between the employer and the employee that there was between the Lord and the serf, that there is between the king and the subject. All they did is try to attempt to replace the Lord, and now you're no longer tied to the land, right? Because that's what serfs were. They were tied to the land. If you were born on this piece of land, you live on this piece of land. You can't move off of that piece of land. Whatever you get on that land, you owe a certain portion of it to the Lord of that land. Whether that is the first night to sleep with your wife, whether it is a percentage of your crops, whether it is a percentage of your kink, you have to give it to that Lord. Otherwise, you get put the fuck out and you're going to die. It's the same. That's what capitalism is. Capitalism was a way to take that off of the land and put it into a revenue producing organization, which is called the company. That's why companies are considered people in the world, right? They have the voice of a person. They're in their own individual. They are your Lord. That's what capitalism is. It's just similar to socialism trying to be a reaction to capitalism. You know, just like Judaism, Christianity was a reaction to Judaism, and Islam was a reaction to Christianity and Hebrew or Judaism. It's just human relations in a different way to try to organize the power relationships between people, and how you actually distribute what we all need to one another. Whether that is a Lord giving it to you because he's your Lord, or a king giving it to you because he's your king, or an employer paying it for you because you've done the job that he ordered you to do. These things are very, very fucking similar, and a lot of people don't see it you don't necessarily see it that way, but from everything that I can see, it is. Anyway, sorry, man. Short me down, OG. Here's a Newport 1000. Real rap want to got a Newport for you, it seems.
It's a Newport one.
Yeah, anyway, so forgive me. Yeah, I kind of went in on that one for a little. Anyway, man, so let's switch off for this last topic to something very, very sad in boxing, man. One of the saddest things that I've seen. Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s daughter has been arrested for she stab a rapper or something?
No, his girlfriend.
She stabbed his girlfriend?
Yes.
Tell us about the situation, KQKC.
Well, if anyone want to know, I uploaded a video, and I get in detail with it if you want to go back.
Same motherfucking plug. Watch this video. It came out this morning.
Anyway, Yana, which is Floyd Mayweather's daughter, she's about I think she's 19, 20, something like that. Well, she was in love with this rapper, the NBA. He's not in the NBA. That's what he called himself.
NBA,
huh? Oh,
NBA,
you know. Oh yeah, okay.
You're all little or young boys.
So he was in Houston, Texas. You know, Texas, they'd kill a motherfucker in a minute. Now, and she went and got escorted off the premises after she went and confronted the girl at his house. And then she left. Then she came back and she went around the back and came in the house. Then she went charging at the girl, and the girl sidestepped her, and of course Floyd didn't teach her how to fight. So she went to the kitchen and got not one but two knives. Now the girl said she didn't feel the first knife that went in her, but she felt the second knife that went in her. Now she told the police that the girl attacked her, but it's pretty much bullshit, and she's in the Houston County Jail. Now they is charging her with aggravated felony assault. That carries a term from 20 to 30 years. So Floyd is having some trouble issues with his uncle, baby's mother, which is her mother. But when you grow up not worrying about a dime, I mean, she got a Bentley for her birthday, her 18th birthday, a Bentley. Floyd gave her the room at the top of the MGM Grand, which they gave him for bringing in so much money, because he always fought at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. So therefore, for his billions of dollars he brought in, they gave him a suite at the top where you need a key to get in. So Floyd said, I don't want that shit. I got houses, I got condos. So he gave it to her. And what I hear that she had parties, get high parties and everything else up there. She always been trouble in Vegas. Now, this came from my youngest daughter because she keeps up with that rapper. Now, the rapper that she's in love with, he has herpes. And
Oh my God, are you
yeah,
serious?
yes. And
Wow.
he had 6 kids by 6 different babies' mama.
Oh my God.
So this is what money looks like, and who she chose to spend the rest of her life probably in jail. You know, I don't care how much money Floyd got. We talking about the state of Texas. The state of Texas will lay your ass down. It ain't like Chicago. Chicago, you know, hey, get out of here, you know. But Texas will lethal eject your ass, or they will lay you down. They lead the state and country in murders. You know, I mean, well, lethal injection. So not murders. We lead that in murders. Sorry, but yeah, that's basically the story. And it's
all right, man. So she got that shit. That's a rough go, man. What's your take on that, Callie?
Wow. Wow.
Melvin Wright in the super chat said the family is grieving. Pray for them. Absolutely will, man.
Yeah.
It's a hard time on them, boy.
And,
Yeah,
I'm sorry, Anthony Yard. I'm sorry. I'm excuse.
Yeah, Anthony Yard's family, man. His grandma
Right.
and his father, man. That sucks, man.
Oh, he was talking about Anthony Yard?
No. I was just saying Anthony Yard. He lost his father and grandmother now.
Yeah. His father's mom. His father's mom passed away. Both his father and his father's mom, his grandma, passed away from the coronavirus, man. With just like 3 days apart from each other.
Damn.
Oh, by the way, man, to the cat, no disrespect in this. I'm just going to ask you a question. You said that's the European system. This is all a European system.
That's a fact.
All of it. If you speak a European, everybody on this fucking planet, damn near European language.
Even a lot of Western Africa speaks European language, man.
Shit's all they took over the world. If you didn't catch it,
yep,
you missed that part of the last 400 years. They took over the world.
North and South America speak European languages. Pretty much most of West Africa, and you go a lot of these islands. Most of these islands are speaking some form of a European language. It's pretty much universal. Like English is almost English and Spanish. Remember, Spanish is also, people forget about that. Spanish is a European language. Spain, the Spaniards are white. They're Caucasian. So they've gone around and they conquered all over the world. That's a European language.
I got a story about a Spaniard I met. It is horrible. But anyway, how are you gonna, stay on top?
They ain't Caucasian, though, man. I gotta correct that.
Right. They ain't Caucasian. I know some dark.
You talking about Spaniards from Spain?
Dark. I mean, dude, the Caucasian is a group of people from the Caucasus Islands that were slaves during the Black Sea trade, and some racist motherfucker from Germany who came up with the separation of races, people into races, right? Picked the skull of some of the slave girl of the Caucasian slaves that he had, right? Took their skull and called that the Caucasian race. If you ask somebody from Russia or somebody from the Eastern Europe, if they are Caucasian, they will fucking like, what the fuck are you talking about? Caucasian is just a word that the people in the United States use to try to make the racist term white more palatable and more scientific. So they call it Caucasian, but it's not real at all. Look up the word Caucasian, like you have Caucasian dogs, like a Caucasian shepherd. Those dogs come from the region of the Caucasus. It's the Caucasus Mountains, right? Which is off I think it's the Black Sea, because there was a Black Sea slave trade, and the main people in the Black Sea slave trade were the people of the Caucasus Mountains, called Caucasians, who are kind of curly headed, like very, not quite as, they're not as necessarily as pale as Western Europeans or Northern Europeans, but that's who they are. And it was never, it's something that they use in America to say white, but they don't want to say white. They want to sound more intelligent and more educated. So they use the terminology that was laid out by that guy that was fucking stupid. The same guy that determined the different 4 types of skulls also said that white people had to be the original people because your skull is white. That's the same, because your bone is white. That's the original state of man because your bones are the color white. So therefore, the Caucasian is the original person. But that's the same dude who coined the phrase or applied the phrase Caucasian to people. But again, if you ask somebody from Russia, somebody from Eastern Europe, somebody from that area, they will fucking say, we hate Caucasians. Them motherfuckers live in the mountains. Caucasians are like hillbillies. They're like European hillbillies. That's what I'm saying. I know what you mean by that, Callie, by saying
right.
Caucasian.
You're talking about the original.
Yeah, that's not what it is. Only people who call themselves Caucasian are white people in America.
Right, because Cubans don't consider themselves Caucasian. They speak Spanish, but
Cubans ain't Caucasian because half of them are black.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I remember having a conversation with
some of them call themselves white. No.
I remember having a conversation with a guy from Spain, and it was the most frightening thing I ever heard. You know, this guy, I used to work with him, and I don't know what pissed him off so bad, but it was a Puerto Rican kid that he just didn't like for whatever reason. And I asked him, I said, yo, what is your problem with this guy? And I thought it was something personal they did to him, but then he just started going on this rant. You know, he referred to every Spanish-speaking culture as piss. And I said, well, let me ask, where are you from? He was from Barcelona, Spain. If I remember correctly, he was from Barcelona, Spain, and he went into this whole historic thing about basically, long story short, any culture that speaks Spanish or a form of Spanish, he referred to that culture as the bastard children of his culture. And you should have heard this guy. Oh, yeah, they are all peace. They're all peace. All of them are peace. Mexicans, Argentinians, Venezuelans, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans. Oh, my God. Cubans. And I say, well, shit, what is he talking? I wonder what he says to me when I'm not looking. Jesus Christ, man. This guy was like the epitome of racist. He's telling a black man this. Jesus, right? He didn't like anybody. There was a Panamanian dude that was darker than me that worked with me. Oh my God. He used to talk Spanish to him and he used to try and correct his Spanish. And they hated him too. They was like, yo, why? And I used to ask him, what's the difference? He says, you know what it is? He says, you know how we speak English, but then you talk to a guy from London and it's English, but it's a different like dialect of English. He said it's the same thing with Spanish. It's like there's different accents and different words mean different things. So depending on what kind of Spanish speaking person you're talking to, you have to like play with the words a little bit. It's Spanish, but certain words mean different things. You know what I mean? So this guy I worked with, this guy from Barcelona, I mean, and he was blonde hair, blue eyed, by the way. I thought he was a white guy until I heard him speaking Spanish. I mean, this guy was the most racist piece of shit I ever. After I had that talk with him, I just felt like I avoided him like he had fucking Ebola or he had Corona. This was going on like 25 years ago now, man. This guy was the worst thing ever. But that was my experience with one guy from Spain. It was disgusting.
All right, man. Shockwave says Slav is short for Slavic or Slav Eastern European, which is a region of Western Asia. By definition, Europe is not a continent. No, it's a peninsula.
You know, I think you're talking about Chechnya, right? Like the people in like Chechnya, those are people who are Caucasian. They live in the Caucasus Mountains, the Chechnya.
Yeah, the people that there are people that live in the Caucasus Mountains or the Georgian area. But the guy that came up with that was, I put it in the chat. God dog, what is this? I've just lost it again. It's Johann Friedrich Blumenbach. That's the guy that came up. But look, man, all of it is nonsense, dude, because you pretty much had all of those divisions. They all came together in the United States. Dude, we live in a different place, man, than Europe. But most of that stuff, the Spanish, the slave trade in the Western Hemisphere, that was started by Spain and Portugal. Those are the two. That's why Brazil speaks Portuguese and most of South America speaks Spanish, and Mexico and the country that is now Mexico speaks Spanish. That's because the first people to start really move on the slave trade were Spain and Portugal. And it was like the Papal Bull of I always forget the fucking year for the Papal Bull, but it was a pope said that there was a big argument between Spain and Portugal after the Moors got put out of fucking Spain. They said pretty much, look, we're going to start running the world. And I personally believe that there wasn't a point in time when they didn't know what existed in the Western Hemisphere. I personally believe they always knew that there was shit going on in the Western Hemisphere. They just decided that they were going to invade and take over because they had the weapons, they had the military intelligence, and they were going to go to what was South America and the Caribbean islands, and they were going to start, because they were transitioning into a capitalistic system, that they were going to get the goods and the materials over there to make a profit off of in Europe. So they took over small islands, they grew crops, they got cheap labor from Africa by stealing people out of Africa. But the people to start that was the Spanish and the Portuguese. The British didn't come into it till the later portion of it. I think the Papal Bull might have been in the 1500s. I don't think that the UK, I don't think that Great Britain, and somebody can correct me if my years are wrong, I'm sure they are, got involved in it probably for another 100 years. So the majority of it, so the idea that Spanish people are not, as far as the Western Hemisphere, they're the people that started the slavery in the Western Hemisphere. The British came along later. That's why a smaller portion of the Western Hemisphere speak English. The whole Southern, they all speak Spanish, Portuguese, French. A good part of Canada speaks French. Germany wasn't as successful, but they were successful in some areas of Africa. But all of that stuff came off of the rise of Europe. And this is something John Henry Clark talks about a lot, that the Dark Ages in the rest of the world, the Dark Ages of Europe tend to be ages of enlightenment everywhere else in the world, and ages of enlightenment for Europe tend to be the Dark Ages for everybody else, because they have a conqueror's mentality. They are raised off of a form of slavery called feudalism, and they had been slaves, because you might not call it chattel slavery, but the Irish, go read the book called How the Irish Became White, and how they became white in the UK, in the United States after Bacon's Rebellion. Man, it's a really interesting stuff, man. It's not all straight up and down, man. But capitalism and the desire to make and the full mission of making a profit, right? Lowering costs and increasing price. The difference between the two has been a guiding force behind the world since the advent of capitalism and the fall off of feudalism, which is why you see we don't even have the ability to give a fuck about the environment. You literally cannot give a fuck about the environment, because everybody is trained in their mind to try to make a profit and to push an imbalance. At least that's how I see Bacon's Rebellion. Wow, it's an interesting turning point in world's history. Yeah, the history of world Bird from Arctic, and let me tell you what that was, in case you guys don't know. Bacon's Rebellion was a rebellion that took place around in the mid 1600s in the colonies of the United States. And at that time, people were categorized as Scotsmen, Irishmen, British, I think, Englishmen, Scottish, Irish, African, Native American. Just take the indigenous. So take those four populations. The wealthy British were the people that owned the land, that were controlling things. And there was a rebellion. The rebellion involved the Scottish, the Irish, and the African. They rebelled, and they were put down. And as a what do you call it? A negotiation tactic, the British, who were the people who were the colonizing country, extended to the Irish and to the Scottish the rights of an Englishman. Because remember, they were operating under the penal codes in the UK at the time, where the Irish were basically getting fucking run and the Scottish were getting run by the British. Very high level fucking explanation of it, but that's what it was. And that carried over into the colonies. But after that rebellion, they said, hold on, we can't do this shit. We're going to, once you're in the United States, where you're in the colonies, we're going to extend to you the rights of an Englishman in the colonies. So the Irish were no longer the Irish. The Scottish were no longer the Scottish, and the British were no longer the British. They all combined to be one thing, which was white. They did not extend that to the African. And then they took away the Africans' right to self-defense, which means that you could be kidnapped, your women could be raped, you could be reduced to servitude and slavery. And they gave that benefit to the Irish and the Scottish in exchange for the promise that they would no longer rebel against the crown in that colony. That was the break, because that is what led to the systematic mistreatment of the African in the United States, the erasing of the ethnic lines that exist in the UK in the United States of America. That's why Bacon's Rebellion and what happened after Bacon's Rebellion is so important. And then with Ellis Island and the migration of Europeans to the United States through through Ellis Island in New York, that's when you wind up seeing so many immigrants come in, because they could leave the old system where they had those cultural boundaries, and they could come to the United States and they would be erased, right? So an Italian is no longer an Italian. It took them longer. Now they're white. A Jew is no longer a Jew, because that's what they were in the UK. Now they're white. The Irish is no longer an Irishman. Now in the United States, he's white, and it becomes a melting pot for Europeans, right? In a new world for Europeans. That's the get that we don't. That's why when people say in the UK, they're like, it's not racial here, we don't do all that. Motherfucker, we do that here. You leave Europe, and that's what Tyson Fury learned. Left Europe, he's no longer a gypsy. Do you see a gypsy when you see Tyson Fury? No. Over in the UK, they see a gypsy. Somebody will get pissed because when they see Josh Taylor, they see a Scot. You know? Anyway, man, that's too much of that. They unite under race and divide us under tribe. Yeah, pretty much, Shock. That's it. Anyway, man, sorry about that, man. So let me go to KUK. What? Something say?
No, I was just saying, man. Good shit, Kavan. I appreciate that, man. Good shit.
Yeah, no worries, man. This shit's stuck in my head, man. Can't help that shit. But you were right. Importation, and they get land, and they got a land lease. Yeah, and also there's a limitation on how many blacks can come into the United States. But it is what it is. You know what I mean? It's all kind of fucked up. We talked very little boxing today. What's your take on Mayweather's daughter, Drew? Do you think they should prosecute her? Do you think they should cut her break because of all the shit she's going through, or she with that knife? Would you stick her under the jail? What would you do?
Well, the law is the law. You know, I don't know what they're going to do in Texas. She has some things going against her. Black being one of them. Who her father is being another one. You know, that's going against. You know, I know his pockets are deep, and if his pockets can help, let it help. I also want to say, you know, to the people that are angry with Floyd for obvious reasons, and I say the reasons are obvious because we all know what kind of person he is. Please, this is not the time to point all of that out, because this situation was beyond his control. He wasn't there. For the immediate situation, he wasn't there. Now, I'm also not gonna. Oh man, it's so many things I could say. I'll just keep it very simple. Because I had this conversation with someone else. Someone referred to him as a failure as a father. I'm not even going to go to say that because I'm not in the household. You understand what I'm saying? And at 19 years old, you know the difference between right and wrong. You understand what I'm saying? When you're raising daughters, your approach has to be very, 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 very different. You understand? And it's difficult when you live a certain way. I remember the question was raised, and I forgot when someone asked him, I say, you surround yourself with all these strippers and everything else, and you give them the finest. right? You're paying money for these chicks. It's not like he's gaming them and making them ride or die, but you're paying money to have these chicks around. But you got daughters, man. What are you saying? Do you want a daughter? That's how all men should raise their daughters. Do you want your daughter to be around a guy like you? And then you look at yourself in the mirror. So for him to have these women around him twerking and, naked and everything else, and then you're reading the story about she's chasing around this rapper kid with herpes. I mean, I would think that's a deal breaker. But whatever, man. She's following behind this kid and stabbing chicks. That's what he raised. Do you get the connection? All right. He has these women around him, naked and tricking and not even tricking. He just paying for you to have these women around him in strip clubs twerking, and he got them all on Instagram and everything else. And his 19-year-old daughter is chasing around a rapper with an STD and stabbing other bitches for him. Well, over him, not for him, but over him. And now she got a case. You get what you put out. The world is 360 degrees. If you throw a boomerang and it don't hit nothing, it's going to come out. It's going to come right back to you. All right. All right. If you lift weights and take care of yourself, health is what the goal is, but your physique changes as a byproduct of the work that you put in. If you eat bad and don't take care of yourself, your health is going to deteriorate. You might go to an early grave, and the byproduct is you looking like shit when you look in the mirror. All right. So you get what you put out. And I'm not going to say Floyd is a bad parent because I'm not in the household. But what I am saying is that there's slight evidence that he could have did a better job as far as schooling this child. I mean, now, again, you're grown and you're making you can make your own decisions, but this wasn't too sharp. Now, what the state of Texas is going to do, I don't know. I'm glad the other girl ain't dead, because that would have been another clusterfuck. But goddamn, man, Floyd has had a very bad 2020 along with the rest of the world, man. But goddamn, this ain't a time to knock him and talk shit about him and laugh at his situations. He's having a hard way to go. All right. I just hope that it works out. I don't know exactly what went on. I don't know. I mean, come on. Other than self-defense, there's no reason to run up and stab somebody, especially over a crime of passion. And that's just my opinion on it. But if she gets out of this, he needs to pay more attention to his household, because a lot of that has to do, in my opinion, with upbringing. So let's not crucify Floyd just because we don't like things he said and done. Let's just focus on the situation at hand and not attack him. Let's just focus on this situation. Let's just see what happens, man. It's unfortunate all around.
Yeah, man. I got you, man. My take on it, I agree with Junior. By the way, Junior the Truth, man. I'm sorry, man, about the super chat, man. I get to run in my mouth sometimes, man.
I never got a chance to weigh in. This is my point real quick.
On, man. I'm about to do these super chats, man. Hold on real quick, man, because Junior the Truth said he ain't never gonna do another fucking super chat because I skipped his shit. So I gotta make sure I do that, man. Omega Red said, main event Mark. I'm gonna go for main event Mark. If I missed anybody else, man, please forgive me. Proud to be part of the LDBC. Brilliant people, absolutely. Time to ante up. Much love in that super chat. It's not disrespectful to disclose and discuss factual, documented information openly, regardless of political leaders. And if the Clintons were Republicans, they'd still be the same. Yeah, I think the Clintons and them Barack too, motherfuckers is Republicans. Poke salad is a plant that can kill you, but boil water off 3 to 5 times, then consume. Great for immune system. Damn, Shockwave, you on that? Then my man Junior the Truth said, is Michelle that fine in person, bro? She looks like her skin is soft and smells like cocoa butter and lusters pink lotion. Michelle, let me tell you about Michelle Obama, man. Michelle Obama is the real fucking deal, dude. Yeah, she's a pretty lady, but you know how I do.
She fine, motherfucker.
I don't really fuck around with less than dime, so she all right. She all right. But no, she's brilliant. She's a brilliant woman. She's somebody that is a very fucking giving person. She's very, very committed to her community. She is a, I mean, she was powerful in Chicago well before Barack Obama got elected, and she would go out of her way to give black businesses business and to support her community. One of the main reasons, dude, that I don't think Barack Obama can possibly be that bad a guy is because of Michelle Obama. I mean, she's not like, I mean, dude, she's not a dude like Barack Obama could have probably ran off and got some chicken head gal and, you know, done whatever the fuck he wanted, because he was a nice looking dude. He's a Harvard graduate, you know, and was what does he fucking run the Harvard Law Journal? That dude could have been making shit loads of money, dude, from jump. You know what I mean? That's not a dude. For the fact that he married Michelle Obama and then he spent that time doing his community activism, man, dude, either he was just had his mind so set on being president, or he was just a really fucking good guy, man. I tend to think it's a little bit of both, but dude, you got to understand, man, that dude never had to fucking go into public service to make a lot of money, him or Michelle, because once you come out as Harvard, the president of Harvard Law Journal, dude, he could have and he wasn't a corporate lawyer. He's not a corporate lawyer. What he was is he's a constitutional lawyer. At least that's what he did. The only time I know of him practicing law was he was a constitutional law professor. Now he definitely, you know, knows his politics and knows how to get people business and do that type of things. She can shake and move with the best of them. But you know, Michelle Obama is fucking a class act. I had a table of theirs in my house. I wish I still had it, but I used to have a table that they gave me and a friend of mine. They gave us a table when they were, what's going on, man? Retro boxing documentaries, man. Shout out to you, man. Welcome back, man. Can't wait to get you back on the show after your hiatus. She bailed out of jail now. What do you mean bailed? Oh, anyway, so yeah, Michelle Obama, yeah, she's very pretty. She's tall, real tall, attractive lady, but she's a better person than she is attractive in my opinion, man. Michelle Obama is somebody that I look up to. I think she is legit in the real deal. Now they surround themselves with a bunch of them, you know, Ivy League Negroes, and you can never, whenever you got too many Ivy League Negroes around you, there's always some fucking you always gonna have some shady motherfuckers around you. Okay, but as far as Ivy League Negroes go, I think they're about as top as you possibly can get.
I'll say this thing: Barack Obama would have did a better job with this crisis than this piece of shit we have currently right now. Easily.
I missed the super chat. Let me get the super chat real quick. Sorry, man. Oh, Young Merv the Cut Man says, salute Cali winning with logic. That was easy. Winning what, man? Ain't nobody competing, just giving their opinions about stuff, man.
Yeah, we're not debating up here.
Yeah.
This was more of a discussion. Yesterday was a debate. This is the discussion.
What debate was yesterday?
What was yesterday debate? Yeah.
I've heard several people mention debates. What debate went on yesterday?
What was it? Oh, probably about God, no God, right?
Yeah, it was about.
Okay. I get
it. About what?
Go ahead.
We had a religious debate. We had a religious debate yesterday.
What yesterday? What?
Go ahead, tell him, Kelly.
On Legendary Topcast channel.
Oh, okay, because I didn't see that. All right, cool.
Yeah.
I got to go back and check it.
Yeah.
Definitely check out Cassie. I thought that would be your type for now. Oh, yeah, dude, she's definitely my type. I never like dumb chicks, dude. And I definitely, man, I tell you. See, that's now, as far as my take on this, ain't got shit to do with Floyd, because, dude, Floyd didn't make that girl act like that. I mean, she got a lot of fucking problems. You know, she got a lot of fucking problems in her life right now, between her uncle passing away, her mother passing away. You know, add to that some dude acting a fucking idiot and shit. People have fucking bad days and can snap. You know, so I wouldn't judge the chick. I think more than likely she probably just needs some psychological counsel. She needs some psychological counseling. Also, it takes two parents to raise a kid, man. Two parents to raise a kid. But once they're raised, it's their responsibility. She's very fortunate to have Floyd Mayweather in her life right now. That's for damn sure. Because because she didn't have Floyd in her life right now, her ass might really be fucking going to jail. You know, because I don't think she's probably going to wind up, if this is her first offense, and they can look at but I'm not familiar with what the statutes say in Texas, but I would assume because it's her first offense that they're not going to completely throw the fucking book at her. Hopefully there'll be some mitigating circumstances or whatever, but she needs psychological counseling, man. Need to put her ass in, just get her somewhere where she can get some help. Whoever that girl is that got stabbed, I hope that she makes it through.
That was her mother that was found dead in the car. That was her mother.
I think it was. That's the mother of his kids, right?
Yeah, that was her mother.
Well, she got a lot of things that she could use, that and Roger and the pandemic, not the excuse of behavior, but yeah, she does need help, man. Get her some help.
Yeah, but
you going around stabbing some people, dog. I believe this about everybody, unless business is involved. If business is involved, I believe there are people that'll kill people over money. I don't believe that's the issue. But a lot of these temper tantrum killings, people that did that shit most time, dude, they got serious psychological problems, dog. As a matter of fact, that's evidence of fucking psychological problems.
Yeah,
if you're gonna
evidence, she been in trouble on this year since she was about 12.
B&B Boxing said no, that's not her mother. If it's not her mother, chalk up coronavirus. I don't know. Still, I think. Oh, her mother's alive. That's damn. How many? That's why I got babies with one mama. I got one baby. Yeah. Oh.
Word up.
Yaya is Floyd's first baby mother. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Retro said, what the fuck Floyd's daughter do now? She's still dating that young city rapper. She stabbed his side chick a couple times.
God.
She stabbed his side chick, blood. Fanon, Texas doesn't recognize first offense. Texas gives you the full brunt of the law. I wouldn't doubt it, man. These motherfuckers don't fuck around, dog. They don't fuck around, man. But look, man, it's about 10 o'clock, man. I think we had a great show today. I know there's some other people that want to come on. I think that I got all the super chats. Somebody let me know if I missed their super chat. But if not, man, we're gonna wrap it up, man. This has been a really good conversation. Next weekend at OG Boxing Talk, we're gonna have another really good conversation because Blood's ass will be back. Bring your ass back, Blood. We could have been talking about all this good shit. We could have known what Floyd, but Blood probably locked up, man.
Now, can you imagine if Blood was on? You would talk about Michelle Obama, where Blood would have went. I'm just.
Blood wants that level. Blood wants that level.
Hey, so are you ready to give up Lupita yet, Fanana? I know. I think you about to pass her up, right?
Say it again.
You ready to give Lupita up, right?
Nah, dog. She ain't going nowhere, dog. She ain't going nowhere. Hold on one second, because I was told that I missed the super chat, so I got to hit these super chats. It's a good problem to have. That was retros. What did I miss? One second, man. I'm sorry, man, because I've been getting chewed out for missing super chats lately, man. I really do. Whose super chat did I miss? Damn, whose super chat? Somebody has told me I missed their super chat.
I can't see.
Oh, Felix Nunez said, many of us Caribbeans love pointing out our lineage to Spain, a great source of pride for some of us to be connected to our conquistadors. Shake my head, man. Yeah, I be getting on. Hey, dude, seriously, I ain't gonna play, dude. I had some Mexican friends, I clown them all the time. Because the motherfuckers would be like, say some shit about slavery. I'd be like, man, what fuck language you speak? What fuck language you speak, dude? What the fuck are you talking about, man? Like, you think this shit don't apply to you? Anyway, man, Felix Nunez, man, I appreciate you, man. I think I got that. You getting old, nigga? Nah, I'm getting pretty. Fuck, I'm doing.
Melvin Wright said you missed 2 of his super chats.
Who?
Melvin Wright.
No. Y'all are just behind in the chat, dog.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Melvin Wright said, the family is grieving, pay for them.
Okay. Sorry,
and Melvin Wright also said, no, I'm not saying you late. I'm saying Melvin's late.
Oh.
Melvin, because the family is grieving, pay for them. And thank you, much love in that super chat, Melvin. And let me see if there's another Melvin, which should be way earlier in the chat. Yeah, I got your super chat. I definitely got your super chat, Melvin. And I appreciate you very much for the support. Man, damn, I did not miss Big Dog Willie. I got Big Dog Willie. First of all, Big Dog Willie's going to say, even though he didn't today, public service announcement, Fuck Dillian White. That first of all, I know that's what Big Dog Willie got to say. Fuck Dillian White. But let me look real quick. Man, I appreciate you guys this morning, man. Y'all really holding the channel down. I don't even see Big Dog Willie. Oh, Big Dog Willie. Oh, I can try. Oh, no, I didn't. I fucked that up. Big Dog Willie said, I contracted the virus while working in the ER. A lot of us in healthcare are dropping like flies. Please support us. We are fighting hard.
Oh,
man.
Damn, man.
Wow.
Damn.
Shit.
Y'all are better than me. I be in my crib, dog.
Nah, man, my girl works at a clinic, man. So she's dealing with that shit on the front lines, man. That's what she does for a living, man. So definitely concerned about that shit. Definitely concerned about that shit, man.
While I had Junior Truth in the chat, give me a call once we get off, Junior. I got a message someone want me to give to you. All right. So once you get a chance, when we get off.
Unspoken voice inside me that said, Fanon, can you do a show on the 2-page boxing glove policy? Who's got boxing glove policy? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Oh, you're talking about that self-defense sheet. You got to feel you're you have to feel like you're in imminent danger. That's what it is. It's self-defense if it's reasonable for you to believe that you're in imminent danger of risk of serious bodily harm or death. And if that's the case, you can defend yourself. But once that shit's over and you don't feel like you're in danger anymore, you got to cut off your attack right away. Alex Davis, man, thank you so much for joining the channel, man. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. But look, we'll be back next week. I say, y'all pull up. I'm going live, open panel. Oh, that's what's up. Legendary. I might jump on there, man. Hope you stay on for a while. Make sure everybody go to Legendary Top Cats after this. Legendary, you are live. You can put your link in the chat, man. Go ahead and put, if you wouldn't mind, put your link in the chat while we close this out. Hey man, last words, Cali Enigma, man. Thank you so much for showing up, man. You made it you really did. Hold on, James Carmen. Fanon, please answer this question. Why do the LDBC delete people's opinion? Man, if anyone in the comments writes something they don't agree with, and because we don't fucking give a fuck about what you think. How about that? Fuck you talking about? Learn how to get along with people, motherfucker.
That dude is Dillian White side piece.
Girls don't give you no pussy. Why do always all the girls fuck the other dudes? Because you're fucking lame. You talk stupid shit. That's why. You get fucking thrown out is because somebody fucking wrenched through your ass out. They matter more than you do. Hey, this is capitalism, dog. This is fucking capitalism.
This ain't a fucking democracy, motherfucker. What the hell are you talking about?
I care about what the fuck they got to say. I don't give a fuck about what you got to say. Okay? Because the only reason your ass, when you leave a fucking comment like that, tells me you somebody that I don't give a fuck about. I don't even give a fuck about. Okay? Show your ass up, get along with people, act like a fucking adult, and nobody will throw you the fuck out. Okay? Wool bag ain't never been thrown out. Drink more water ain't never been thrown out. There's a bunch of people in this motherfucker that disagree with other people all the damn time and never managed to get their ass blocked. But you can't. Fuck out of here, man. Anyway, sorry about that. Got to tell y'all the truth. I'm not asking for any more subscribers. Just get it right. I got about 35,000 subscribers. I'm straight. Okay? All I want is the people that are already subscribed and already to continue to watch the videos, to continue to come to the live stream, to continue to support other LDBC channels. That's all I care about. If you are not already a fucking subscriber and already known and already contributing to the conversation and to the community, then you can become that or you can get the fuck out. Okay? Does that make sense? I hope it does, because I'm very clear about it. You say some shit crazy, you'll get your ass thrown the fuck out. Okay? That's how it walks when you walk into somebody else's living room. Okay? You don't get to fart in the motherfucking living room and be surprised that they throw you the fucking. Get your stank ass up out of here. Fuck are you talking about, dog?
They be talking
in other words, we don't need you.
These motherfuckers, these guys are ridiculous. They come in here and they'll say the most craziest, most outrageous thing and get blocked and be like, yo, what happened? Nigga, you ain't family. That's what happened. That's what happened. bitch ass niggas. They do this shit all the time. Like they play victim, man. You're not a victim, man. Stop coming in here, coming in the chat, saying shit reckless, and then wonder why these people throw your ass out. That's why we got wrenches, you dumbass. Fuck out of here, man.
That's their job. We've asked them, please, main event Mark, throw somebody's ass out. Okay? Please.
Motherfuckers.
You said you told the dude to get a job. He told me he was allergic to a job. He said he has a job allergy. That troll that you were talking about, he said he has a job allergy. He said he likes welfare. He'd rather have, just live off of us. He likes to live off of taxes.
The truth is, though, there's no other community like ours. There's no other community like ours, period. Shout out to my man 78 Sports TV. There's no other community like ours, dog. We're the only group of people that do not need any fucking body else. Okay? We don't need any fucking body else. Ain't nobody's numbers dropping because boxing quit. Ain't nobody fucking all you motherfuckers running around trying to figure out who you're gonna talk to, how you gonna grow, who's gonna listen to you. Dude, we've already got thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people that support us, continue to support us. We support them. Your ass don't want to be part of the crew. You want to fuck the shit up by throwing corny ass questions out there, insult people, make it uncomfortable for them to be around, and that's why you get thrown the fuck out. Okay? I know the fucking game. Over there on Twitter, I leave a fucking comment on Twitter, and you motherfuckers leave 1,000 fucking comments under other people's fucking names. Anybody that comes in there, you got some fucked up shit to say to them. So pretty soon they lose interest in the fucking channel. They lose interest in the conversations. That's what happens when you get inundated with trolls. We take a can of Raid to your asses and a wrench. Raid and a wrench. Get the fuck out if you're not contributing positively to what we're trying to do. Period. Because we do not need you. With that closing statement, let them know how to get in contact with your Cali Enigma.
You can get in contact with me on the Cali Enigma Sports and Entertainment on YouTube. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and on Twitter. And like Fernand was saying, fuck you. We exterminate trolls. That's what we do. We have an exterminator crew. They're called the Wrench Gang. So if you don't like it, too bad. We don't need you. We never needed you, and we're never going to need you. But you need us, which is why you guys said, you guys get on message boards and talk about us, and you guys make us matter of fact, you guys bring us more viewers on a regular basis because you guys talk about us all the time. Doesn't matter what platform it is, you guys think about us every day. And we don't even know you people or care about you. If something happened to you, we wouldn't lose any sleep because we don't even know you exist until you show up and complain about what we're talking about. You have an option. You don't have to come to our channels to listen to boxing talk or listen to our opinions, but you care about what we think because we run this shit. We run your life. You think about us every single day. Every day you wake up, there's never a moment, even if you have a girlfriend, which I doubt some of you do, or your boyfriend, whatever choice you choose to be with, whoever you're with, you still think about us. You know what? I want to go to the movies, but what is the LDBC doing right now? During this lockdown, you really have a lot of time to think about us now, especially if you had a job. Now you really have a lot of time to think about it. You're like, well, goddamn LDBC. Why don't they stop? The coronavirus is going on and they're still going live. Why don't they just take a break off? Why are they still talking about Tyson Fury? And how can they adapt? And I don't understand how they haven't. There's no boxing going on. How can they still go live? I didn't know that they can speak on a range of topics. I mean, it's just they have a lot of range. I hate these guys. I hate all these black guys. They stick together. I have this myth that's going out here that all black people hate each other. And why doesn't it work now? We frustrate the hell out of you guys because we destroy your stereotype on a regular basis. That's why you really hate us. Thanks for letting me come on, Fanon. Appreciate you, Drew. KQKC Boxing, you my brother, man. Love you, man. You know what I'm saying? We have our disagreements, but I love you, man. Please subscribe to KQKC Boxing, man. The singing OG. That's my brother, man. Love that dude, man. Love everybody on the panel, man. Shout out to my brother on Blood Boxing, everybody in the chat room, man. Thanks once again, man. I'm out.
Oh, and by the way, man, let me ask some of you hoe ass dudes, since we talking to y'all, the ear sluts. Shout out to BFTB with the greatest phrase ever, the ear sluts out there. Blood Boxing is my dude. Blood boxing is my dude. And I can't wait for blood boxing to be back on this channel. Blood boxing is a card-carrying LDBC member, one of the greatest to do it, one of the greatest on this internet that will ever do it. Passionate, truthful. That's my dude. And you cornball ass dudes out there, trying to separate people and trying to come with a lot of corny shit. Know exactly who the fuck you are, what the fuck you about. Stop trying the dumb shit because it will never fucking work. Thank you very much.
Hey, Kelly, don't leave yet, Kelly. I appreciate you too, brother. All right. You my dude, and we're always gonna agree to disagree sometimes, but hey, that's what it's all about, right? So I love you, brother. So you're my LDBC brother. Now,
man, you gonna slap the shit out of Cali, dog? Why you?
No, we can both agree to hate Donald Trump. We both hate Donald Trump with a passion.
Obama, nigga, I will get on that.
No, but one thing he can agree with me is I hate Donald Trump with a passion. I hate the motherfucker. I do.
Hey, but yeah, Barack Obama, yeah, he my guy, but Kelly my guy too. I talk to Kelly more than I talk to Obama. So but I appreciate everybody's opinion. Everybody has one, so, and I appreciate yours, and I appreciate it. It's always good to listen to somebody else's perspective and let them hear yours. So but anyway.
Perspective, nigga. Perspective.
I know. I was waiting on you to say something. I was waiting on you to say something. The boys, ball.
Yeah, KC boxing. That motherfucker, he was getting ready to hit me with the cigarette. He was getting ready to put that to the side of my face.
Man, I cut a motherfucker. I don't use no cigarette. but you can find me. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. You can find me on YouTube Monday through Friday at 12:30 p.m. Central Time, and Saturday mornings at 10:30 a.m. Central Time, and Sunday mornings right here on OG Boxing Talk on Phenom International Boxing.
Yes, sir. Drew Titan, let him know what it be.
Yes, sir. I am Drew Titan. You can follow me on Instagram under the same name. You can follow me right here on YouTube at Drew Titan. I will be going live 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, New York City time. The city's on the ropes right now, but we fighting back, man. We fighting back. And to all you trolls, man, listen, we love y'all. You keep us relevant, man. On average, the single troll has about 7 accounts. All right. And I love it. When you guys are keeping Gmail and Google alive, man. I don't know when you guys find time to do the shit you do, but we appreciate it. We read right between the lines. You come on here under a new name and you say things like, I don't have a problem with Wilder, but no T in it, but I don't have a problem with Wilder, but I think Glovegate is false. Just take the L. How about this? Take this long dick and put it in your mama ass. And with that line, I think I just demonetized this goddamn thought. But
don't worry, I missed enough super chats to make up for it, dog.
With that being said, I'm Drew Titan. Phenom, thank you for having me on. Appreciate you, brother. KQKC, appreciate you. Cali, you already know what it is. Appreciate all my LDBC fan. And you know what? We ain't a dying breed. We're growing, man. We're growing. It's all love, man. And fuck the confusion.
Hey, go ahead. I'm sorry, man. I'm so anxious to make fun of somebody.
Yeah, fuck the confusement. We're growing, and fuck all the detractors. Fuck you. Go ahead and do your own thing and try and outdo us. You don't like what we're doing? Outdo us without using our name. That's how you generate a fan base. Try and outdo us without using our name and see how good you do. Fuck you very much. Anyway.
Hey, man, Junior the Truth. I know your ass over 40 now. By the way, and since you can't go to church, can't wear that. Since you can't go to church with that big ass top hat and shit, you can come get on camera with your motherfucking seersucker and your brim. Bring your ass to the motherfucking shit. Bring your ass on the show.
He's 42. He's a couple months younger than me. So he's definitely old enough.
Yeah. You 40, dog. Get your ass on the show, man. You seriously, Junior, the truth, you very welcome, dude. I just figured you always win because you got them church suits that you off, you on the way to church every Sunday morning. That's why I never asked you before, but you're more than welcome now that everybody locked up, dog. Junior, the truth said, I'm in my prime. I know you are, dog. No, you are. But look, man, much love to everybody in the chat, everybody in the super chat. Go to my man, Legendary Top Cats, whose show's going to be on next. Legendary, if you got my email, send me a link, man. I got a couple things to do, but I might jump on a little bit later because if somebody wants some debate smoke with me, you can get it during coronavirus time. You don't want the smoke here. I don't think y'all really want that smoke.
For now, you hotboxing the smoke? Is that what you're doing? You hotboxing the smoke, man? You rolling up the windows?
I got Ben telling you, I can be wrong and you will still lose. That's how this works around here.
Yeah.
Anyway,
you know what debate we've been missing though, Fanon? We need that Chicago versus New York debate over pizza. We need you and Blue Blood need to get this thing going. We need to.
Let me tell you about the Blue Blood debate. Blue Blood was going to turn. Blue Blood just turn around and agree with you at the end of the debate. I debated Blue Blood one time, dog. Blue Blood took Blue Blood about 6 months to come around, dog. But at the end of it, Terrence Crawford ain't fought no fucking body. Now I know you out there listening, Blue Blood. You remember that we had our conversation. I told you, Terrence Crawford ain't fought nobody, and where are we today? See, that's the long debate. But Blue Blood is a good dude, man. Is he feeling well?
He's feeling better.
Yeah, he's still. Remember, he shoots some tags, so he's doing okay.
He's good. He's good.
But he last time I spoke to him about the pizza thing, he just wanted to know. He said there is no debate. Chicago, they're solid. They're solid. They're a solid distant second.
Man, they shit sucks. Man, New York pizza fucking sucks. Okay,
I can't say anything. I haven't had a slice of pizza in 2 years.
Good for you. Get some junior cheesecake. Take your ass. Get some junior cheesecake. Brag about the shit you good at. Yeah. Okay, you niggas are good at national disasters.
Oh shit!
I know. They all hit New York, ain't they?
Y'all motherfuckers have some of the most tragic fucking moments in New York.
We get fucked up pretty bad out here, man.
Dog, New York boy.
We got all kinds of dumb shit happening over here. It's crazy.
Hey, dude, for real, New York. I lost. I gave up a long time trying to argue that Chicago's as good a city as New York.
I mean, look, we had 9/11, we had the fucking hurricane, we got the Knicks, we got all kinds of fucked up shit happening over here.
The crack era back in 91, 87.
Oh boy, yeah.
New Jack City.
New Jack City, Nino Brown.
New York is the shit as a city. It really is, dude. Like
a lot of course,
that's level of the city, man. From Chicago or anything. I haven't been to LA, so I can't. But I can't imagine LA's got shit on New York as far as the city. That shit is like
LA and New York are just different, man. LA is more spread out. Because when people think about LA, when they talk about LA for the most part, there's the city of LA, and then they got like all the little outskirts, that's like Compton, Inglewood, Gardena, Long Beach, you know what I mean, stuff like that, Santa Monica. So I mean, Long Beach, people talking about LA for a lot of time. They're talking about all the little surrounding cities as well as LA. Hollywood. People say Hollywood is LA. It's just like a suburb of LA. Also one places. So LA is considered the entire LA area.
Man, look, fuck LA
area. Shoot, that's where I want to go.
Man, fucking Hollywood. The Hollywood Boulevard look like fucking Fordham Road in the Bronx. Man, that shit is fucked up.
Man, LA is dope, man. I'm a Bay Area dude, so I'm up north. You know what I'm saying? But it's different. It's completely different, man. San Francisco has more in common with New York than it does with LA.
We ain't trying to talk about Cali, dog. We trying to talk about real cities. Okay?
No, Cali, we got real cities here, bro.
I don't fucking sunshine, clear.
It's the Bay, bro. The Bay. It's the Bay all day, man. Real laid back Bay. Up here, man. The Bay the shit. Don't even.
Hey, fuck LA. We talking about New York and Chicago, real cities. Put y'all shit on pause for a second. We talking about real cities with skyscrapers And
yeah, we got real skyscrapers and shit. Have you been to San Francisco?
No, you guys, your weather's too good. I can't respect nobody that ain't got.
Yeah, we don't do that. We don't do that cold weather shit. Y'all can have that. Fuck that. Fuck -degree weather, man. I have no interest in that.
Chicago's so hard. We kill niggas in the middle of winter. That shit be freezing fucking cold. Still be out there doing dirty shit.
Yeah, so Detroit do the same thing too, bro. Detroit niggas kill on the negative to below zero. Niggas still shoot motherfuckers in below zero. Yeah. We inside, bro. It's that cold. We locked up in California, bro.
The whole reason the whole state of Michigan is there is because of Chicago. The whole fucking Midwest, dog, is only there because of Chicago. That's my take on it. Nah, New York though, your pizza sucks, dude. Straight up, like there's like nothing to that pizza, man. That shit sucks. Like when I first got, like I've eaten Philly cheesesteaks, and I was like, that is the shit. When somebody gave me a Philly cheesesteak because my father's from Philly. That's the real deal. Them fucking Philly's cheesesteaks are the real deal. Like they're
so what makes a good pizza? Because there's one guy.
This is what fucks up your pizza, the New York pizza. First of all, it's like a conveyor belt type of bullshit, right? That's the first thing that threw me off. You have the crust, then they pass it to the side, then they put the fucking sauce on it, then they put the cheese on it, and then they move it over to what toppings do you want? Then they put the meat, whatever meat you want on it, right? They bake that shit up and go on. That's not how fucking Chicago pizza works. Chicago pizza, you put the fucking bread, then you put the sauce, then you put the fucking meat. Then you put the cheese. So the way that the cheese, the meat, and the sauce all comes together in Chicago and pizza, and the real pizza from Chicago is way fucking better than that shit that comes out of New York. New York is like fucking, like, I think it's got decent sauce. It's got decent bread. It's just decent. It's just decent. That's all it is, dude. It's not good.
Listen to the pizza connoisseur right here. There's only one.
We need blue blood here, man. So we can't.
There's only one in the Bronx.
Until you have pizza where you cook that pizza is made for you, right? You have the pizza. You have anyway. Eat the pizza like that.
Dream the Truth just said Dayton, Ohio is over Chicago, bro.
Now, listen.
Dayton, Ohio has some good pizza.
Burke Avenue over here, the man didn't even speak English. Grandpa was from Italy, and his pizza was totally different. It was unlike anything I've ever had. It didn't taste like, Papi, the Mexican who was making pizza like how you said it. There's one guy on Burke Avenue who's from Italy, and he would have a line out the door, and his pizza was different. And that was the only time you saw the Italians coming inside the black part of the neighborhoods over there get pizza from him. So I'm going to assume.
What did the pizza look like?
The shit looked different. It didn't look like a conventional pizza that I was used to seeing. It looked different.
If you can see pepperonis sitting on top, unfucking touched, that's bullshit. That pepperoni, you shouldn't be able to see that shit.
I must say, it didn't look like that. Everything looked like it was underneath the damn cheese.
That's it. Right there. If you find a New York pizza with the meat and all that shit underneath the cheese, you're looking at good pizza, dude. Because they conveyor belt that shit. That's a conveyor belt. If you just give me the bread, give me the sauce, and you guys get caught up on motherfuckers spinning the fucking pizza and throwing it up. Fuck, you need to see somebody. Fuck all that, man. Hey, Leon DiCarlo said New York pizza is good, but Chicago pizza is another level. Deep dish from Chicago is heaven. I don't fuck with deep dish. People talk. I don't really. That's just that's a tourist thing. That deep dish. Do you get that in your neighborhood, the deep dish, or you get the regular thin crust?
No, it's around. They play with it, but I was never a fan of
cheese in that deep dish, man. Ooh.
You like the deep dish?
Yeah, they got cheese in the crust, man. Love that. Yeah.
When you order it, do you get deep dish, or you get what pizza do you have around you that you order?
Oh, on home run in. You ever heard home run?
Deep dish? You get home run in deep dish ordered?
Mm-hmm.
Around with that shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's good, man. We can't get on this pizza. Geno's cheesesteaks and Philly's the heat. Yeah, but that Drew, that cheesecake though.
Yeah, Junior's.
That Junior's cheesecake is good, man.
Yeah, I had to back off Junior's one day because niggas went in there and saw a mouse chilling in between two cheesecakes.
Oh, that's the best place to eat.
Nah, I was good on that shit. That shit was all over.
Around that motherfucker. Hey, dude, that's in New Orleans.
He was chilling there, lying down the block and everything. He was just saying, somebody took their phone. I was like, yo, you see this shit? Is that real? And that shit looked at the camera and blinked. I was like, oh shit. Yeah, they had to close that fucker down. Close that fucker down for 2 weeks.
Line, did they?
Nah, they got this. They just like, nah, I want the one with the strawberry on it in the single slice. Let me get that one. And he ain't touched that one. Holy shit, I was out.
Man, New Orleans, man, they used to have these the po' boy shops. We never closed, man. You could go there every night. Like it never closed. They get these super size, but every night, dog, was a little mouse convention shit running around all over the place, man.
Oh,
shit was crazy. But them cheesesteaks was good, and I was broke. You know what I mean?
Hey,
you know, barbershop conversations, we wanted to agree with me. So I want to let you guys know, y'all can't fuck with California, man. We top notch.
Come on, man. Fred from the Bronx, man. Get out of here.
You niggas are good. Your weather's too good. I don't believe it. Now,
y'all niggas got earthquakes. I'm good.
Yeah, that's an area of ignorance for me. But look, let me get out of here, man. Much love to everybody. Definitely check us out next week. We'll be back and go over to my man, Legendary Topcast coming up next. With that, we're out. Peace.
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 Go.